Boom! What's up, guys? We are live. So we decided to do this live stream spontaneously in the spirit of free speech, because we live in America, at least I do, and probably like half my subscribers do. We want to have an open forum. So the way we're going to do this is we're just going to answer all your questions. We're not going to cherry pick questions. You don't have to super chat me. You don't have to pay me $500. If you disagree with me, I'm not going to kick you off. I'm not going to call you a hater. I'm not going to say I'm not giving you any oxygen. We're just going to go through everything, good and bad. I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about, what's been going on about the whole situation. Obviously I don't have all the information, but I do know a few things. So I'll just give you my honest take on everything that's been going on. Also, I'll reveal some more interesting things that haven't been shared yet. At least I'll give my side of the story again. I can't speak, I can't speak for Fresh and Fit, obviously, because, it's not like we'll keep in touch really, but I can give my side of the story. I can give some interesting tidbits I think you guys are going to enjoy. Also, I will happily debate any Fresh and Fit fan or just anyone who wants to debate me about anything, because one of the great things about being a alpha man, and I will say it, like, I'm not afraid to say, oh, I'm alpha, even though I don't like saying that because it sounds kind of fucking try hard, is you're not afraid to challenge your ideas. I'm not afraid to debate. I'm not afraid to, talk out. And, if I'm wrong about something, it is what it is. I have no problem admitting it. I don't need to silence anybody. And also, I'll be happy to answer any general questions you guys have about games. So this doesn't have to be just about, this topic. We can just answer any questions anyone has. Just provide value to the audience. So, we'll jump in soon. I do have a few things before we jump into the questions. There are a few things I want to share, some screenshots that haven't been revealed yet, and some footage that probably most of you haven't seen yet. So we'll show that. It's nothing too crazy, but I think it is going to be very, very interesting. Let me just start off by answering a few questions. Okay, so I'm also going to post the link, the StreamYard link, in the chat. So the rule is this: if you want to come on for a debate, you have to write in the comments what specifically you want to discuss. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to give me like a fucking 5-paragraph essay, but do just give me a brief overview of what exactly you want to debate me about. Also, if you feel like you have an interesting take on the situation and you just want to briefly come on and share your thoughts, we can't keep you on for too long because, the people might get bored. But if you want to come on for a few minutes and you feel like you have something interesting to add, then, you're also welcome. Just let me know in the comments what specifically you want to discuss. The only thing I ask is the only 2 rules I have with YouTube Live, and they're pretty obvious, is no racist comments and no spamming. So no spamming links. Aside from that, it's a free platform and you can say or do whatever the fuck you want. But please don't show your penis live on air. That is kind of weird, and it's a big no-go in the YouTube community. How to talk to you, Alex? Yes, so talk to me. I posted the link, but do please write what exactly you want to discuss first. Left my hockey game early. Come chill with you boys. Got 2 assists tonight. Thanks, my man. I appreciate it. I actually used to play hockey growing up too. I wasn't that good at it. It's funny because when I was like 16, I tried out for my high school hockey team, and the coach was like, Valenchik. He's like, yeah. He's like, that sounds like a good hockey player name. I'm like, yeah, I'll do my best. And then the first day of tryouts, I fucking hurt my knee. And then I spent 3 weeks recovering. And then I came back on the ice. He's like, all right, Alex, we're going to give you another chance. And what do? I fucking hurt my second knee. So I guess I just wasn't meant to be a professional hockey player. All right, cool, Marcus. Yeah, just write out what exactly you want to discuss. I already see you in the backstage, so just write it out. Thanks, man. Yeah, I want to give kind of my perspective on the situation. Fresh and Fit in the thumbnail. Why not title this? I need views. Well, I'm kind of weird as a YouTuber in the sense that I try to have thumbnails and titles that people click on. It's not like Fresh and Fit does that themselves. It's not like every single other fucking YouTuber is doing the same exact thing. It's not like Fresh and Fit has titles that say "dumb bimbo got kicked out" or "fucking stupid blonde got dunked on." Because they don't do any clickbait. It's just me. Okay. What's been going on? Been busy recently. It would take a little bit too long to refute, but basically, Fresh and Fit has been trying to false copyright strike their critics. So they've been going after people and trying to false copyright strike them. I like this. I'm a brain dead Fresh and Fit fanboy. Can we debate? Sure. What's a good phone number close ratio and lay report per month for an intermediate PUA? I would say that a good phone number close ratio is probably 1 out of 3, and a lay ratio, I don't know. I think something like, I hook up with 10% of the phone numbers I get. With cold approach, it's a little high. I'm just talking overall numbers. For anyone who just joined in, so we're going to wait until we're going to give this another 5 minutes for people to join in, and then I'm going to go through some very interesting piece of information, share some more screenshots and whatnot. I think we'll add a little light to the situation. In the meantime, we'll just answer some questions. How do you pick up women at work? I have girls shouldn't be showing indicators and always seeking eye contact. How to take her out without looking stupid. I would just play it cool. I'll just be like, hey, hey, what are you doing this weekend? She's like, oh, not much, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You want to meet up for a drink? Just invite her out for a drink and then escalate on the date. Don't escalate at work. I like you because we have similar noses, so you give me hope. Thanks. I worked hard on my nose. All right. So Marcus says debate, defamation, slander, derogatory claims falsely against Fresh Fitness. Certain channels we can be cloud chasers. We can be okay. Yeah, we can debate that. That's fine. Fire check Fresh and Fit. Subway Frog says they will not retract the copyright claims. Yeah, I mean they're basically digging their own grave. It's funny because they were actually channel was doing pretty good. Like they were seeing some good growth. They had on some big YouTubers, and then they're like, you know what? Things are going too well. Let's fuck ourselves over. Let's see what we can do to piss everybody off. Oh, let's do some false copyright strikes. Yeah, that seems like a good idea because we can't handle criticism. Uh, how do you deal with a feminist person's ideas from people who are close to you and they're trying to manipulate your dating game? Well, I just ignore. I don't have anyone in my life who has feminist person's ideas because they usually don't like me. But if they're trying to manipulate me, I'll just say, hey, listen, like I'm doing my own thing. You know, can we talk about the buildup rage Myron has, the deprived need to get approved and validated by others, Myron, the psychological time bomb? Yeah, I mean, I definitely do think there's a little bit of that. I think there's a lot of factors going on. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to attempt to try to, like diagnose him, but I do think there's a lot of things going on that, he should work on because, like, homie does have potential to be a good, like, he's a pretty good speaker and he's a pretty good host and he has a lot of energy. So I do think he has potential. If he works on, like, some of the weird issues he has, he could be a lot more successful. How can they promote masculine while being feminine, making bitch moves and snitching? Yeah, it's like that's the thing. There's a huge level of hypocrisy there, right? It's like they say one thing and just do the other. It's like how can you bitch about cancel culture and go try to get other people canceled? How can you say don't leave with your wallet and then leave with your wallet? It's like this is the hypocrisy that's funny. Will Fresh and Fit get kicked from YouTube? In my opinion, no. In my honest opinion, I don't think. We were discussing this. I was discussing with Spencer today, and I don't unless they completely fuck up and they don't. I think they're gonna just basically drop this whole thing and move on. I think they're gonna have their lawyers just say, okay, we choose not to pursue this. But if they choose to be really dumb and keep pushing this, then they could. But I don't think they will do that. Will KR be Kevin Ray Wilder be attending? I didn't. He's welcome to drop by if he wants, and I'll have him on. But I didn't invite anyone specifically. All right, so let's get into so let's get into some of the interesting tidbits. So I'm going to share my I don't know if I've talked about this much simply because I just didn't think it was that interesting, but I'll share my little experience with Myron. So I used to know Myron before Fresh and Fit was ever created, right? He was I think initially he messaged me on Instagram. He said he was a fan of the channel, and he seemed like a normal cool guy. So we met up a few times. We went out and blah blah blah. And so I was somewhat, I wouldn't say we were friends, but we did like catch a few workouts together and whatnot, right? Like I said, I didn't used to think he was a bad guy. I mean, this whole copyright strike has me rethinking that. But in general, I didn't think he was a bad person. Not quite like someone who I would be close friends with for a variety of reasons. But again, that's nothing to like do with him. So for a while, Myron wanted to come on the Playing with Fire podcast. So he was saying, this is before Fresh and Fit ever started. This is when he was just doing the fitness coaching. He's like, yo, man, have him on. Now, Playing with Fire was around probably 30, 40,000 subs at that point. And I did things a little bit differently back then. I don't know if you guys who've been following me for a while. So now I'm much more inclined to just have like a random person on, have a discussion or debate or whatever. But back then, I was only having on like other YouTubers, right? So yeah, I would never, like, when I was at 30, 40,000 subs, I wasn't just inviting on random people. So when I told Myron, I was like, yo, dude, like, yeah, man, like, I'll have you on. Because he had told me for a while that he was planning on starting a YouTube channel, right? So I had known about that. And I was like, yo, dude, like once you get your YouTube channel started, I'll give you a few tips. Once it gets going, I'll happily have you on. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like you don't have to catch up to me. Because again, keep in mind, at that point, no one expected Fresh and Fit to like ever take off. I was like, yo, it doesn't have to be like this thing where you catch up to me or something like that. Let's just wait until you get your channel started, right? That it'll make more sense for me and for you, and then I'll have you on that point. So that was kind of the idea. So fast forward, Fresh and Fit gets started, and initially I was very much encouraging him. So here, let's take a look at some of the texts. October 19, 2020, I texted him, congrats on the channel growing. Thanks, man. Go October 30th, 2020, go work on the channel. If you keep this up, you'll be huge in the next few months. I don't want to say predicted, but yeah, because again, first of all, back then their content was a little different, right? They weren't doing a lot of the hypocritical shit that they were doing now. Their earlier content, I think, was a lot better in my opinion. So I thought they were doing interesting things. Back then, they were doing, I don't know if they were having girls on this point or not, but I thought they had potential. They had a good studio setup. They had a lot of energy. So again, at this point, even though we're not friends, I would say we're acquaintances. And I was happy to encourage it. I would do that again for anyone, right? Like who, starts a YouTube, because again, it's something I can relate to. I'm a YouTuber. I know the struggle of the YouTuber. He says, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. We're trying. You're growing fast as well. I texted him October 3rd. Yep, we'll have to collab sometime. He likes the message. November 6th, good job on the last podcast. You're definitely moving up in the YouTube community. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Let's do an interview. Let's do a video interview. You guys are growing fast, so it'll be good. Whose channel? One for mine and one for yours. When and what time? I say for mine this Sunday would be good, around 8. He says, okay, I'll talk to Fresh about it and see if he's on board. Sunday may be tough. I say we can do another time. Evenings are better. Oh, yeah, I do Sunday night show. We can do Monday night. Then November 7th hits me up. Hey, bro, what's J-Mo's problem? I never said anything negative about him. What do you mean? He made a video talking shit about me and John. Oh, I never saw it. He says, we have a Monday night show. We will coordinate a date and time, though. So this is where things get interesting. I say, what's your schedule like this weekend for that podcast? And then he says, we're releasing our IG course next week. We're going to do a show next week to promote it and give you an affiliate link. Now, this is when things change. So just so you guys understand my mindset, I can't allow him to promote his Instagram course on my channel, because at this point we were planning on releasing our own Instagram. We weren't going to have it a course, but it was going to be a content update. We're still planning on doing that. So it's just common courtesy. For example, when I go on John's channel, I don't plug my product because he also has a texting product. When he goes on my channel, he doesn't plug his texting product as well. It's just like you can still collab with people who are your competitors, but you just don't plug something that competes with them. So I say that won't work, bro. Your IG course is in direct competition with my product. I wish you guys the best with that, but I can't promote on my channel, nor would I promote my product on yours. I was thinking more of a general cross promotion. You can come on my channel and get value, and I do the same. We link back each other's channel or boost up traffic to both our channels. He says, you have an IG course? I say I have one in development, and then he just fucking disappears. So that's this is the funny part. This guy was super wanted to come on my channel. He wanted to do a collab, and then when he found out that I have an IG course in development, because potentially it's a competition, with his money, that's when this guy just completely dropped off. And it's fine. I don't really give a shit. Whatever. It is what it is. It's just kind of funny how obsessed they are with money. Everything's about monetization, all that. But okay, whatever. You do yourself. So that's the little backstory there. Now, I want to say around a few months after that, they started doing a lot of more of the kickouts and type of stuff. And that's when I became a little bit more critical of their channel, because I saw that there was elements of hypocrisy. They also kind of became a little bit more extreme with some of their ideas, saying dumb shit what's it called? If a chick doesn't sleep with you on the first date, then it's because she doesn't respect you and you should call another girl in front of her. That might have come later, but it was shit like that. So in one of my videos, this is before I ever made a single Fresh and Fit video. In one of my videos, I literally said something along the lines of, yeah, my friends at my favorite podcast, Fresh and Fit, like to say this, but I actually think this. That was the extent of my criticism. I literally said, I just said it in a slightly sarcastic way, right? It was so random in one of my videos. And unless you're a diehard fan of my channel, you would never see it because it was so random. The video was about something completely different. I wanted to actually find that video, but I couldn't because I don't know which fucking video it is because it has nothing to do with Fresh and Fit. One reference. And then this happens. So I'm filming infield one day. This was, I want to say, right around when we were at 40K. I'm filming infield, and this incident takes place. So I'll let you guys judge for yourself. I'm going to share the screen. 1 second. We're going to share the screen. Chrome tab. All right. So this is me. We're filming infield. I'm talking to a girl. I'll do my best. My favorite podcast. What are you gonna do? This is fucking hilarious. So I'm filming infield, minding my own business. I literally mentioned them once for a split second, and not even in a negative way. I just say I made like a little joke, and I say my friend, whatever. I disagree with my favorite podcast, Fresh and Fit, and I don't know how the fuck he finds that, and like I guess he's watching all my videos religiously, which is the only way you would really know about this. And it bothers him so much that while I'm talking to a girl on the street, he has to come up and like fucking make it a big deal. It's so funny to me. Like that's how much it bothers you. And again, like the big issue I took was not even the fact that he wanted to talk to me about, is just his attitude. Yo, man, I'm warning you. Don't you fucking do it. Dude, I am free. I am an independent YouTuber. I'm free to talk about whoever I want. Now, the funny thing is if well, we know who came up to me and said, hey man, I gotta be honest, I felt like kind of disrespected when you did that the other day on your channel. And, I really didn't appreciate that. Could you not do it again? There would be no issue. I'd be like, dude, yeah, I understand, man. It's all good. I'll try not to, be sarcastic in reference to you guys. The whole problem would have been solved right there. But there's no fucking way, like, while I'm talking to a girl, you're going to start yelling at me like a crazy person and expect me to keep up with your demands. So this kind of, I think, gives a little backstory that this is largely about ego, like not being able to handle criticism. Why? Like, who gives a shit? Like, if people criticize me, I don't give a fuck. Now, I will probably make a response video and give the facts and maybe even tool the people, but it doesn't bother me. I don't need to copyright strike people. I don't need to get all up, like my panties up in a bunch because people are criticizing me. So, like, your ego, like, if you want to be successful with women, you want to be successful with life, you can't have a super fragile ego. You have to be able to take shit. This is like, I remember there was a comment that was saying, well, dude, like, it's not fair that people are criticizing. Yes, as you become more popular and you gain clout, that comes with the extra scrutiny. If you don't want the scrutiny, then don't get the clout and stay an anonymous person, stay a private person. But if you're going to go up this ladder of clout, there's a lot of benefits that come with it. Believe me, there's also the extra scrutiny. You can't have one without the other. It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. So it is what it is. But if you want to really minimize the scrutiny, then stop doing shady shit. Like, this channel has been around for 3 years. Granted, we're not nearly as popular as Fresh and Fit, but I have been around for a while and I do have some clout. People don't really go after me because I don't really do any hypocritical shit. Like, I try to be very honest and not lie and not get caught up in stupid bullshit. I try to be respectful of all the content creators. I don't make demands at them. I don't fucking do these false copyright strikes. So if you want to avoid all this scrutiny and shit, there will always be a small percentage of people who will legitimately be haters. But most of the people who Fresh and Fit are labeling as haters are people who are criticizing them, and rightfully so, because they keep getting caught doing dumb shit. So stop doing dumb shit, and this won't happen, and you can just keep growing, and you'll have a small percentage of people who do keep still shitting on you, but the vast majority of people won't give a fuck. Again, I was done with this topic. Like I said in my previous video, when Fresh had his little sugar baby controversy, I didn't comment on it because frankly, it's just become boring for me. But, they kind of basically added some more life to this whole story. So, okay. We got through that. That's kind of what I wanted to add on the story. Now let's go through some questions, and we'll debate anyone who wants to debate. And again, this is an open forum, so anything goes. Do you really feel that the best ideas in free speech win out in the end, or does the majority value, no matter how ridiculous, get the most clout? I don't think the best ideas win out in free speech. I think the things that sound the best win out. So no, I don't think it's the best ideas will always win out. If people defame you, then file a defamation suit. You can't abuse the copyright system to retaliate against defamation. Exactly. This would be like if for example, if you think I stole from you, right? Like, you're like, yo, Alex, you stole from me. I'm like, okay. So I filed a police report saying that you burned my building down. It's like the two things are not related. Like, you can't go to the police and report me for arson if the crime is theft. Like, they're two different things. So yeah, it's just kind of funny. Oh, that's so funny. Someone says it's like burning someone's house down, respond to defamation. I actually didn't really read that comment, but it's funny. We came to the same conclusion. Can you do a video on being congruent? Fresh is the most incongruent guy in dating space. He's like a dorky IT guy who tells people he has threesomes with Playboy models. Yeah, yeah. It was pretty funny. Um, I mean, honestly, I think I could make a video on. I think it really just comes down to just not putting on an act, like not putting on a show. Like just be who the fuck you are. Now, you of course you do want to work on yourself and keep kind of raising the ante. So if you are like a super shy guy, you want to practice being more and more outgoing. But like let's say like Fresh, right? He's a fairly awkward guy. Yes, I do think he should try to work on becoming more confident, practicing his speech. But when he goes way too far in the other direction and pretends to be like a super alpha, badass, it just comes off extremely incongruent. So you got to do it slowly and actually push your personality in that direction rather than just like just pretend to be someone you're not. Uh, yeah, well said. Who do you think is worse, Fresh or Myron? I can't stand Fresh, straight up scammer. They're both bad in their own different way. It's hard to say. It's like what's better, pizza or pasta? I wouldn't be able to rate them. I think they're just both have their own issues. They're just different kinds of issues. All right, let's see what else we got. The channel's only doing well because of YouTube Shorts views, and they're buying subscribers through. Yeah, I mean, sure, that is what it is, and I'm not even going to give them flack for it. Because they're playing the game. That's fine. It is what it is. I mean, it's not really how I do my business, but did Myron actually sign up for a bootcamp with JMF? Okay, so the story there, as far as I understand, is that Myron wanted to do a bootcamp with JMF, but he kept trying to like bargain him down. So John charges, I think, 2,000 for bootcamp. Myron was like, "Yo, man, like, can I give you 500?" And John was like, "Dude, it's like 2,000." He's like, "Okay, can I give you 600?" So he kept like annoying John about the price, and eventually John like just got pissed off and was like, "Dude, like fuck you," or something like that. So I think that's kind of what happened there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay. Playing with fire. I like your content. Please don't do like door channels from. There's virtually zero game channels, and most are turning into suck crying channels about Fresh and Fit. Yeah, I hear your point. And this is not going to become a pure like a largely a troll channels. We're still the 99% of this content has nothing to do with other content creators. It's purely based on game and demonstrations and whatnot. So again, the core of this channel will always be that. Like I have no intention of taking in that direction. Myron says 7 days warning is not true. I don't know, honestly. But I mean, lead attorney did provide, screenshots and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't know what Fresh and Fit is getting at with that. I don't know. I wasn't included on that chain from YouTube, but I mean, I sort of believe lead attorney because one, he's a lawyer, and two, he posted a screenshot. Uh, do you think showing receipts is necessarily for vetting a good coach mentor in the game? Largely, yes. I think you have to show some kind of receipts because yeah, I would say my answer is yes. Game recognized game, and the only guys on YouTube I know with game is Ask John Anthony. The other guys are trying to sell you courses and are mostly frauds. Yeah, I mean, there's other good guys like Austin Summers, Coach Kyle, but yeah, there's a lot of frauds. Okay, so we're going to have Marcus on for the debate in a few minutes. I'm just going to get through a few more questions, and then Marcus, we're going to have you on pretty soon. So let's give it a few minutes. Let me get through a few more questions. We'll have you on. If I was playing with fire, I would have socked him and he approached in person and said, "You better watch your back." Yeah, again, well, first of all, I'm not a violent person. Second of all, that would have caught me like, I don't want to catch an assault charge. And thirdly, like, there's no need for violence. Like, this is like at the end of the day, this is like some YouTube disagreement. There's no need for this to go violent. Like, it's such an overkill at all. Like, at the end of the day, no one hurt each other's family. No one there's nothing personal here. It's just like YouTuber, I disagree with some of their stuff, but there's no need for violence, so that I would never do that. Okay, let's see what else we got. One of their things that turn me off about their podcast is the women they bring on, like these so-called Instagram model strippers, porn stars, and OnlyFans, usually the same. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I've talked about this in the past. Fresh and Fit is in a little conundrum because because of their past episodes, most normal girls, when they see that, they're not going to come on because no girl wants to be disrespected or dunked on. No girl wants to be made a fool. The only girls that will put up with it are the chicks who want the clout really bad. Who's that going to be? It's going to be the Instagram models, the strippers, and the porn stars, and the OnlyFans girls. The average girl who has a normal job, she doesn't care about the clout that much. She might want it a little bit, but she doesn't care about it to the extent to subject herself to that. And I hope that with my podcast, I provide a good counterpoint because we have chicks on, and they're more like normal type of girls. We don't have on like, obviously I have no problem. Like I like porn stars, I'll interview them, but there's a lot more like the normal type of girls, and that's simply because we don't do content that tries to like dunk on chicks, right? It's more about getting information from them than proving a point to them or to the audience. Rolo's writing a book on game because it's so funny that that Rolo thinks he knows anything about game. Okay, what else we got? I used to not like you, but you don't like Fresh and Fit. I like that. They're very disrespectful. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think the Tates are legit. I agree. I do think that Tates are legit, and we got what's his name? Tristan Tate coming in on Friday, next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that collab. Okay, let's. Okay, playing with fire. They said they don't care about 7-day warnings and all's good with them. Will you give them a heads up about their deletion? I mean, I think I'm done communicating with Myron unless there's going to be a specific reason. Like, I thought I could communicate him with like a normal person, but he just decided to take that route. So it is what it is. I'm not going to waste my breath anymore. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's their channel. I'm past the point where I'm going to try to like give them like, like professional, like out of professional courtesy, I'm going to try to like give them heads up. It is what it is. I tried it. They didn't give a shit, so whatever. All right, so let's bring on Marcus. We'll do a little debate, then we'll answer more questions, then we'll do more debates. We'll go probably for we're not going to go too long tonight because me and Indy and P want to go out, but we'll go for another 45 minutes or so. What up, Marcus?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good. I hope you like the avatar picture. I finally learned how to master some of this YouTube shit.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a bunch of dudes in a very small space.
Yeah, it's military. Yeah, it's my brother's comrades.
Word. So yeah, man. So let's jump into it. So give me a rundown. What do you want to debate?
Yeah. Well, the difference in the compare and contrast in debating on the copyright strike compared to the derogatory, the slander, defamation. That's two different fields. So we can talk about the. It's up to you. It's your panel, so it's up to your choice of what you want to start on.
Well, what were your thoughts? Like, what were some of the things that you, because I can't read your mind, obviously, but like, what were some of the things that you kind of took issue with, or you feel like you want to shed some light on? As far as I understand the situation, it's been purely copyright strikes. There hasn't been any defamation suits. So they're saying it's defamation, but they're going after people for copyright strikes.
Yeah. So from my word on the street, supposedly is that they're doing more than one charge. They're doing one section which is copyright. They're doing another which is defamation of character, and there's doing nothing for slander, targeting, like social targeting or whatever. That's what supposedly they're filing, or they've already been filed towards their legal team, from what the rumor out there. But when it comes to the channel copyright striking, it should only be used if it's sincerely, when it's like, what's the word, like serious harassment, like sexual exploitation, etc., stuff like that they have in their clauses where it should be taken down. I think there's a certain thing, like if you're seriously offending and attacking someone's like religion or sexual orientation, etc., things like that. I think it's the only time where it should be, or maybe even the spam if you want to go that far, because I didn't think they give you those options.
Yeah, so the copyright system is designed for things like, for example, if you take this whole stream and you just put it on your channel, right? You're copyrighting me, right? Or if you take like 99% of the stream and you maybe say one word. So if you take, a video and you react to it and you add some commentary to it, doesn't matter if it's 1/3 or half or 2/3 of the video, and you transform it in some way, then it's no longer original content. Then it becomes transformative content. So that's what the copyright system is for. It's for when people are just like, they take your videos and they just post them on their channel, right? And it's like, wait, is whose channel is this, right? So that's what the system was created for. A lot of it is also for like for the movie industry, so people can't take like, like a movie, like let's say Lord of the Rings, and just upload it to my YouTube channel and just sell, show it for free, right? That wouldn't be fair to the company that produced it, right? Because then they're not getting their royalties. But if I want to take, a few clips of Lord of the Rings and give my commentary on that, then that's totally fine.
Like a live reaction to the movie or the music or video or whatever.
Yeah, I can react to it, but I just can't take like the movie and post it on my channel, right?
Because entirely, not the entirety of it. Yeah.
So basically, the thing is that the Fresh and Fit, they're not, from everyone who's gotten strikes, which I've already talked to multiple people, they haven't gotten, they haven't received defamation lawsuits. It hasn't been for slander. It's been purely copyright strikes. And the reason they're doing that is because the copyright system on YouTube is the easiest one to abuse, because YouTube, and I think, again, this largely goes back to the movie industry and the music industry. YouTube is very worried about copyright. So you send a copyright strike to YouTube, YouTube usually just fucking acts on it. And then when you appeal it, then it usually works out. I think it's pretty telling that so far Fresh and Fit has lost every single one of those copyright strikes. Like, everyone's appeal has gone through. Some people didn't even they just got the notification, and then YouTube emailed them like an hour later, like, hey, we're actually not taking action on it. So even YouTube, who's like usually overly sensitive to the copyright stuff, is like, you guys have no basis to copyright strike someone.
Yeah, and I know like right now how the social economy is, and like the whole market of like this left liberal wing, where people yet somehow still get oppressed with their free speech, even though it's supposed to be free speech. And it's very hypocritical, like on the mass media scale. I know that in California, because there's a lot of huge, like majority of the top YouTube content creators, a lot of them live either in LA or Florida. Like they live in those two states. I've noticed that demographic. And so like there are some cases down here where I heard that, like, depending on what it can be retracted. I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard from legal teams that have won cases and some that have lost cases, depending on what you say and what you do and how you're doing it in your video towards the person or the other content, the original content creator. I have heard that some of these people have lost a lot of money when in return you're reacting to something, but it becomes a negative light. Like, so for example, if you like somehow slut shame a chick on her reaction on her own original content, that could be defamation of character or slander, and it could be, depending on the judge you get as well. Because I have some experience when it comes to the court system and stuff, and I have interned in, etc. So I know like some of this stuff is very, it can be biased or flawed at times. The system ain't perfect.
Yeah, of course. The system is definitely not perfect. And again, I'm not going to claim to be like, a lawyer or have some kind of like legal knowledge. We do, like at Playing with Fire, do have like one, he's a buddy of mine. He's a lawyer, like on standby. So when we do have situations, behind the scenes, I go and ask him. But, like, he's the expert. I'm not an expert on the law at all. This is just going off like, what he's told me and like the things I've read. But I think, again, like the most telling thing in of itself is that YouTube is not like, honoring these, like YouTube is like, like you guys are in the wrong, because none of these videos are down. Like YouTube is like, and many people have shown their communication with YouTube, and YouTube is saying like, hey, we're not going to copyright strike your video. And like, again, YouTube is usually overly sensitive to that. Like, they usually like they lean on the side of the copyright striker, especially since Fresh and Fit got a lawyer who's on it. So just the fact that YouTube, despite the fact that Fresh and Fit has their lawyer send them a letter, is still not taking action, that just kind of tells you like how off base they are here. And again, this is like something I told Myron directly. Like, if you watch my video, I told him directly, like, dude, like, you're in the wrong here. Like, don't go down this route. And I think in addition to that, aside from like the legal thing, just in terms of ethics, like you're gonna like fucking try to get other people canceled because you can't take criticism. Like, it's just such a
yeah, because he did say that part, and but he also included the other part of what I said earlier. Like, so he said that part that you just said, but he also went on the other route where he's like, oh, you're no longer going to be able to tarnish our names, calling us falsely alleged these criminal crimes that we're doing that are false, which is also something I fight against. I fight against false accusations, false convictions and stuff. That's what I partly do. But that is a serious crime in itself. I do believe that if they get punished, depending on the people that were coming for them, depending on what they did and said, they should be punished as well. I'm not saying everyone that was coming for them should be, but just certain ones.
Yeah,
And I'm not going to name them because legally you should not be naming somebody if they haven't been charged yet. So never do that. But
yeah, I mean, we agree on that defamation is wrong. I'm not saying that Fresh and Fit should be defamed. That's like a thing in of itself. But I think they're creating a red herring because they talk about the rape thing, right? Like, oh, people are calling us rapists, right? And I have heard that to some extent, but the vast majority of channel they're copyright striking have never said that. I've never said that. Kevin Ray Wilder has never said that. Abba and Preach has never said that. Lead Attorney has never said that. So, like, the guys they're going after are not saying that. Like, so they're using that as a little bit of a red herring. Like, I would never go ahead and say that. That's a huge allegation. Like, again, like Myron has texted me. He's like, oh, you're no longer be able to like spread, false information about us. Okay, name one thing that I said that's false. They can't do it. They can't like refute any of these because if you get into like details, like, I've been pretty, consistent with the facts. I might have gotten like some dates wrong and stuff like that, but like on the big things, I don't think I've been wrong about anything.
I'm pretty sure right now they're doing their homework, trying to get the timestamps and like the recorded times in each video that you guys have all done, regardless of the playlist, how long it is on your guys' channels. They're probably there like beating their heads on the computer sometimes. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they're making a big mistake because I'm gonna give like a little perspective on this. So if Fresh and Fit knowingly goes ahead and copy, like let's just take me for example. If they go ahead knowingly and copyright strikes my channel, and let's say as a miracle it goes through, and I lose my channel or I get temporarily suspended from YouTube or whatever, I have legal grounds to sue them, and chances are I will win that lawsuit. And I'm not going to sue them for 5 or 10,000. I'm going to sue them for $500,000. I'm going to sue them for $1 million. Like it's going to be a big lawsuit, and especially since that there's a communication where I told Myron that like there's a heads up, like that's not going to look good for them. Like if they false copyright strike something knowing that it's false and it costs me money, like they're going to lose that lawsuit 9 out of 10 times. So it's just a really dumb move from like a legal perspective and from a money perspective and from like a reputation perspective.
Yeah, because that no longer goes to if it was 5 to 10,000. It'd probably be like a small claims court, but if it was more than like 20,000 or 40 or 50, it goes up to no longer small claims. It goes above that. So I'm pretty sure that like a lot of people, when they round up the number, if they somehow dilute it, but they get close to what they were asking for, that's usually like the winning number that they get. So for example, because you said you're going for $1 million, even if you go down to 500,000. No. I know. I'm not doing nothing wrong. It's just not saying throwing shade or anything like that. It's just I'm making the example of like the math problem in itself to subtract or whatever. Like, if someone were hypothetically go for the $1 million, even if they get to 500,000, you win because at the end of the day, they took the L. And I think that's very the critics and the channels that were coming for FNF, they were saying, why don't you do this one person at a time early on? Like, why don't you do it one channel at a time instead of doing a mass hysteria? You get me? Like, instead of bombarding them with 20 strikes, why don't you do 2 or 3 strikes early on at a time here or there if you were going to do that? So that's why that letter that YouTube sends where, they said, oh, don't worry, you guys are not going to be copyright or striked or nothing. And they have 7 days to appeal or answer or something, whatever, and say that. That's where it kind of looked bad on them. Pretty much. Not kind of, but it did.
I'm gonna give Fresh and Fit some very free advice. Hire a publicist. Hire a really good publicist. You guys have the money. Instead of spending your money on lawyers, spend it on a publicist, and he will help you stop doing dumb shit that tarnishes your image. Right now, like your image is a huge part of your business model. So don't spend money on lawyers. Spend it on a really good publicist, and you will be a lot more successful. Marcus, I do want to kind of like keep it moving like fast. It's always good chatting with you, man. But I want to get like other people a chance to come on. So do you have any like
absolutely
or anything you want to add?
Just make sure, guys, if anyone is going to criticize anybody else, make sure you attack the argument. Don't attack the person. If you come for Alex, just make sure you stick on the debate. Don't attack the person, attack his culture, or attack whatever, his skin complexion, whatever it could be. Don't do that. Just stick to the topic, stick to the debate. And if you were supporters of FNF, I wish them the best. I hope they learn some lessons. And I hope everybody here is to learn something. And when you learn, you listen. You're supposed to listen. That's how you learn. So I wish the best for all you guys, and I hope that I stay away from this. I don't react to this stuff. I don't really talk, but I do talk, and freedom of speech is something that you love in this country. So
Yeah, man.
I hope you take
Yeah,
care, though.
Marcus, it's always good chatting with you, man. Thanks for coming on, and we'll chat
Y-
in the future.
Yeah, positivity. That's what I am. I'm just being positive about it.
Cool, man. Thank you for your service, by the way. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for what you're doing too, man.
Take care, bro.
Take care, man.
All right. Always good chatting with Marcus. So I'm going to paste the link. So if anyone else wants to debate something or, give your input, just let me know in the comments what exactly you want to discuss. I posted the link. All right. So let's keep going through some of the comments. You planning a fan meetup like other YouTubers? Yes. So when we hit 100K, we are going to do a meetup. It's going to be 100% free. I'll come, we'll hang out. You can be Rhaegar, you can be my girlfriend, or other chicks, whatever. It'll be a good time. So yes, I am going to do that. Once we hit 100K, it's going to be in Miami. I'll announce it when we get around like 90K. Okay, let's keep going. In regards to the earlier question, I think Fresh is a Shrek frog-like scammer, always saying he's high value mine, at least has a decent amount of red pill knowledge, even though he's most into cash. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Why do so many of these dating advice guru channels become fraudulent in the last decade? I remember getting some Blick was actually helping back in the day. Because you can make a lot more money if you lie or you scam or you cheat. There's a lot more money in that. So that's kind of is what it is. Yeah, that's really the main reason. It's money. Follow the money and usually get to the truth. Yeah, Alex, you talk about alpha stim in another video. How do you? Oh, that's a very interesting question. What are the effects so far? I actually, you know what? I gotta get back into doing it. I haven't actually put it on in months. I found it when I was randomly searching. I think it was in a Facebook group. Someone said, "Hey, I got this device and it's been helping me with anxiety." So I'm talking about alpha stim device. You can Google it, but it's supposedly supposed to help with anxiety and mood and all that. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been doing it though. I gotta get back into it, so I can't really comment on it too much. Okay. A.G. Hayden is actually retiring in 6 months. Oh, I didn't know that, but I don't understand why. He's super young. I mean, I don't get it. I ain't retiring anytime soon, so nothing to fear on that end. I don't know why people sometimes retire super early. You're 25, you can't retire yet. I can't believe Myron acted like that after you gave him professional advice help. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, let's see what else we got. Just going through the comments. Hey, I got some interesting take on child massing to disprove the black pill. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of travel maxing in general for who that's practical. Okay, let's see what else we got. Just going through these pretty fast. So many people buy Myron. No one gets pussy. Okay, why do people buy Myron? No guys who gets pussy gets that. Anger women's dating habits. Tate ballers are less emotional even when they agree on fresh fit. Yeah, it was very funny when you watch I was watching that one of the episodes where Tate was on, and if you notice, you can tell Tate has game. He's whispering in Selena Powell's ear. She's laughing and shit. You can tell the chicks are enjoying his presence. Versus with FreshandFit, it just feels like they're just oh god, this is so fucking awkward. Okay. Okay, what else we got? Myron has basically admitted he's doing this because he doesn't like criticism, not because of actual. Yeah, that's exactly what it is about at the end of the day. My fragile ego can't handle criticism. Yep, well said. Copyright system is not meant for. Yep. Alex, can I talk to you about why I quit the Manosphere? It may be near the end. It might be a little bit outside the scope of this video. So maybe near the end, man. We can actually, yeah, okay. Hop on Social Mastery. Just hop on in the back end, and we'll just try to go through it. I don't mean to rush you when we have our discussion, but I want to go through these kind of in rapid fire to keep this engaging for the audience, and also so me and Indian P could go out tonight. How many girls should one be cold approaching per week? Well, I mean, it really depends on how busy your schedule is, blah, blah, but the more the better. I mean, I know that may sound like a cliche answer, but the more the better, honestly. I mean, I don't, there's not like a hard number that you have to do. Okay, what else we got? Okay, let's have on the let's have on the next person. So Christian and Mark, I missed both of your comments. So just write right now in the chat what exactly you want to discuss and what you want to debate on. So just write that in right now, and I'll look for your comment. Okay. What's your girlfriend think about you going out without her? She's cool with it. She's super non-jealous, so she's cool with it. She knows that going out tonight, she doesn't care. Yeah, as long as I prioritize her first, and I don't prioritize other girls in front of her, she's cool with it. Like last night, she was helping me take photos for Tinder. Actually, we spent like an hour doing a photo shoot where I was holding handcuffs. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram soon. So she helps me with this stuff. That's what I like about her. She's cool. She's not like possessive or jealous or demanding or stuff like that. She's like super cool. Like she's like, yeah, I want you to be happy. And that's, you want to go out and get laid. That's what makes you happy. Then, I want you to do it as long as it doesn't you don't give me diseases or you don't, make me, put me in second place. A reason I think he's worried about this. Hey, Alex, would you ever have an interview with lesbian PUA? Yeah, I totally would. I mean, I think that would be a very interesting discussion. So I would totally be down with that. So yeah, I would totally do that for sure. Oh, we got John Anthony in the house. Let's add him on. Yo, what up, man?
What up? Just smashed out a stacked Brazilian. Had to make an appearance though.
Yeah, man. Good to have you. So we're doing a debate. Oh, we got Wheat Waffles here too.
Oh, bring him on at the same time. I will see what he thinks about me revealing his face.
All right. I don't want to ambush him. So Wheat Waffles, just let me know if you're cool with that. Just let me because I feel bad we ambush him. So just let me know if that's cool with you, and I'll have you on the stream. And Mark and Christian. I never.
Are there any other incels inciting school shootings besides Wheat Waffles?
So we got hang on a second. We got Mark and Christian who are waiting. So again, guys, I missed your comment. Just write your name. Say I'm Christian. I'm Mark, and this is all I want to debate. I don't know why it's skipping. John, let me get your quick thoughts on the whole situation. Like, how would you sum it up in like a minute or two?
It's no different than what Napoleon Hill did or any other scammer. RST Tyler, the guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad, Rollo Tomasi, Derek Moneyberg, Max Tornov. There's a long list of guys using the exact same playbook. Make big claims, make unrealistic claims, show nothing, back up nothing, get some like hack on the game in order to spread, and then just call like if you look, like I've like dug deep on this. If you look around, all their fan base has been like brainwashed by them in the cult that they've created, that any detractor, any person like saying bad shit about them is just a hater or a clout chaser. So it's really like, and people don't even entertain like the objective facts that are staring them in the face, right? Like, it's not like, oh, what a surprise, like Fresh is lying again. Like, we knew that like back at the beginning of the year, and they continued to grow, and it's been continued to be covered. Like, how many videos are there like showing all the fucking bad shit about them? And they continue to grow, and no one really ultimately cares.
Yeah, I will give you credit. I think you were patient zero, whatever. You were the first person to bring it up, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think
I was. I looked at the video was released 10 months ago. So
Weed Waffle said it's cool. All right, so let's have him on, and then Mark and Christian. I saw you guys were private messaging me, so I'll have you guys on after that. So just bear with me.
This is my dream come true, being on a live stream with Wheat Waffles.
All right, there you guys are.
So we've got a couple of the most.
Oh my fucking god! Jesus fucking Christ! You gotta be fucking kidding me! You gotta be fucking kidding me! What the fuck?
I always thought that's what he looked like for real.
What the fuck?
That's dope. No, it's all good. You can cut that in post.
Like, why the fuck? Okay, can someone?
Is that the first time that's ever happened?
Yeah.
I don't think YouTube will hurt you over that. That's happened on a lot of streams.
I hope. Wait, it's happened to you before?
Never to me personally, but I know it's happened. Like I know it happens to that one fucking dude, MGTOW Dictionary, like every stream.
Can someone explain to me why a supposedly straight dude would show his dick on to a bunch?
No, that wasn't actually him, right?
I don't know. You don't think it was him?
I don't think that was him.
I mean, I'll message
you. I thought you were referring to Wheat Waffles. Like, why would a supposedly straight little redhead 19-year-old loser incel show his straight dick? But you just mean a straight man's dick in general. I guess because it's funny. I would probably do something like
that. I think I have to reconsider our friendship. If you would show your dick to a bunch of dudes, please.
Dude, think about people are bored as fuck.
I think I know you well enough to know you not show your dick to a bunch of dudes.
Like, should I go out in a dumb mask or should I like show my dick to hundreds of random people on a live stream? It's kind of funnier to do the second.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this is all, it's all fun. It's entertaining and this and that. But like, at the end of the day, like, people has anyone forgotten about the fact that like a little redhead dork like led the industry for over a decade? Like, this stuff's like very fascinating to me. I've studied like how cults work and how religion works and all this stuff. And the fact that people can be like duped in mass in the face of like endless objective facts is incredible. Like, you know that real quick, in the Heaven's Gate cult, the dude David Koresh or whatever the guy's name was, he was not working. All the people in the cult, like all the men, had to go to work, and they weren't allowed to sleep with their wives. And he was fucking all their wives and daughters. And people believe that he was like the Messiah and all this shit. And they would bring in like, they would copy like Bible miracles, and they would bring like chicken from KFC and like bless a couple pieces of chicken and make like endless chicken, but it was from a KFC truck. Surprise, surprise.
Can we talk about why a dude would think it's a good idea to show his tiny ass fucking dick to a bunch of men, to a stream that's 99% men?
Dude, I've dated a bunch of webcam girls. Guys will just fucking show their weird dick like that.
No, I get it. Okay. So I think if you show
guys get off on people seeing their dicks.
All right. So I think if you show your dick to a chick, it's weird, it's socially awkward, but I understand why. It makes sense. I understand that desire.
Well, think about you're that guy right now. He's probably like so happy that he got that past you.
Why?
It's more about like getting it past.
If that's really him, then
like you didn't click his profile to see if was there a way you could have verified if that was the real Wheat Waffles, or can anyone just make it?
I don't know. He had the thing, but we'll figure it out.
There's a John Anthony lifestyle that like MLD made.
There's a bunch of internet detectives, so we'll figure it out. Let's have on we have a few people waiting backstage. Let's bring them on real quick. Christian.
What's up, Alex? What's up, John Anthony lifestyle?
Is that Christian Hudson from The Social Man? No, I'm kidding. Christian who?
No, I can't really complain much, but
no. You wanted to come on and I think debate something.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a fan of Fresh and Fit?
Basically, honestly, I'm just basically like fair word. I watch most of their stuff because I know they have like a lot of theory and basically like a lot of some truths that they have that I can basically try to apply in my life. But as I continue to dig more and more, and I listened to Abba and Priest and what they were saying about like literally Bill paying for box and literally Abba and Priest literally like acting a fool and acting childish, giving out ad hominems. I was really trying to question their character, and I questioned their integrity as well as the hypocrisy, like what they've been doing. Like, are they really like are they truly who they say they are? And once the allegations literally came out with like Allende and Large A and Kevin Wade Wilder, yourself, and you actually saw an actual email that Myron actually sent you that email saying, "Hey, I need some help trying to like bag more chicks and up my leg count and everything in order to be like the self-proclaimed high-value man." You know what I mean? So that he'll be able to try and make like the top of the list in his thinking, but yet the dumb brain over here now is like so deeply insecure with himself. He thinking if he tries to chase like the glitz and glamour and everything like up in Miami, he feel like he'd be on top of the world. But he like Rob, I've learned from like a bunch of folks, especially with Allende, with Anna Quinn, Simone, all these guys, is that like Myron is like a very shallow, insecure.
Why do you need to hear it from like 30 people? I mean, after like the first one, because a lot of these things aren't theory. It's like here they fake press releases, here they paid girls, here that it's like that should be the end of the story, but that's not.
No, I can actually understand Christian's perspective because it's like sometimes you don't want to believe like the elephant in the room. You know, you're like
heavy off the rip.
sometimes. Sorry, what?
No, I just want to try and believe like this one person that's go run around with it.
Yeah. Sometimes you need like the shitload of evidence.
You don't want to be you don't want to deny the fact that the Red Sea was parted by a mortal man. Do you know that was from tectonic plates? That was actually a thing. There was a real explanation, but somebody used it as a parlor trick. But yeah, it's really. I told Alex it's really crazy how people can be tricked, and especially in the self-help industry, the fitness industry, like all the mass advice is like way off, and so people just stay stuck in the problem and in the pain forever.
Yeah.
So where are you at right now, Christian, in terms of like how you feel about Fresh and Fit?
No, they're a bunch of like insecure people, man. Like straight up, a bunch of insecure frauds. You know, they're very deceptive. Like I would not be surprised if literally YouTube shuts down their channel by Friday after find out like made a copyright strike that they actually struck down, which is really like a censorship strike. They're actually going to reject those, and they're going to be looking at that channel thoroughly, seeing what's going on with them. They're going to be looking at like all like the gas that Myron pulled out, and like the burner that like the woman showed like recently, as well as all the kick out that he's done, and like all like the hit and abuse that Myron has taken, and him dominating. Like they're gonna look at it because like YouTube is like liberal leaning, right? They're gonna probably look for like suspected misogyny down there. And they have like way more than common ground to literally terminate that channel and literally sever all of those finances right there with like the apartment, the Range Rovers, and that's it. Done.
Wait, real quick. Are you reading these comments about Wheat Waffles? Dude, I knew he's such a pussy. There's no way he would have ever come on a stream with me. As soon as you're like, he's coming on, I was like, that doesn't sound
it's probably fake. What you were saying, Christian? Yeah, I mean, I actually, we were talking about this and we have a little group chat. I actually don't think Spencer Cornelia made some good points. I actually don't think they're going to get kicked off, but they're going to lose a lot of their fans. Like I think a lot of people are going to turn against them. I think this might be the turning point because I think red pill, black pill, blue pill, orange pill, everyone can agree that fucking cancel culture sucks.
It does. Which is a shame. And if they do drop, because I don't know if they're actually going to drop because it's like, say they stay alive. And we don't know because, you know, the F&F fans, you know, but they'll probably still ride high to the death. You know, you never know with them. Like, many of them are like very young high school, college dudes. You know, they don't really know too much about the whole game and understand the thorough sort of cues about the whole situation. I'm still trying to work on the whole cues as well. And I'm literally 30. You know, I've seen some of the next to the woods in the game. So that's why I don't really try to focus on and be like all head strapped on like just one guy because you don't really thoroughly know what they do behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But I still watch them like I watch their stuff from like bits and pieces from time to time. But like you could talk like a very good game and actually give like a bunch of advice. But yeah, when it comes to practice and you don't actually follow what you preach, especially with Fit actually to try and do the whole sugar mama thing as well as Myron and literally like being undercover simps behind the scenes, it's a real huge problem. It's gonna make the Manosphere look bad as a whole. And they're like a lot of women are actually gonna generalize the Manosphere and think like, Manosphere is misogynistic.
Yeah, it's embarrassing when like people like because they're like, oh, you live in Miami, you have a podcast, are you like Fresh and Fit? It's like embarrassing. Like, no, like
the industry's been getting slammed forever, dude. Like anytime anybody fucks up in the community, like that gets covered hardcore.
Yeah. So that part is kind of bullshit. Again, it's like whatever. Like just because one dating coach fucks up doesn't mean that like
all the dating coaches fuck up.
Yeah. Like when chicks are like, oh, you're a dating coach. Do you like negging? Do you want to neg me? Like, no, I don't fucking neg.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you actually literally get yourself all roided up and yelling all over the place for no fucking reason at all, like trying to give like all the healthy advice. And the way that Myron treated Skippy when he was up on that set, claiming he's actually helping him, but not really thoroughly understand his depression. And I'm autistic, I can relate to depression very well. It's not as simple as you think. It can vary between like one spectrum from one person to like another spectrum in a different person. It's extremely great.
Can you get me up to speed? What did he say about depression?
No, like the person saying, hey, you know, like you're 44 years old, you have no excuse in the world to be depressed. You should be actually trying to get yourself up and all that stuff. What Myron said was, have you sought counseling by a psychologist? That would have been the first step he would have had. And if Skippy said no, the first thing he would have said was go see a psychologist and then done. Now we'll give you like some subtle advice in here and there, but you need to go see a psychologist first before you try to advance to something like you're doing.
A psychologist?
Psychologist. I meant
psychiatrist. Yeah, he was saying. I mean, the I am Skippy thing. I mean, that's like in a category of itself. I am Skippy is like the most bizarre character ever. Are you familiar with this guy, John?
No.
Dude, you would have a fucking field day with him.
Somebody just told me about him though recently.
You'll have a field day with this guy. He's a 43-year-old virgin. He's deeply religious Mormon.
He's Mormon, right?
Yeah, he wears shirts that says "Proud Virgin." He goes on dates. He videotapes his dates, and he does the most cringe shit ever. Like he'll show up
field at least. That's better than most dating coaches.
Oh, dude, he'll show up to a girl's house and he'll be like, "Hey, I got you some ice cream," and she'll be like, "Oh, thanks." And he'll be like, "Yeah, let's eat it together." She'd be like, "I'm kind of busy, Skippy. Come on, let's eat it together." And she'll be like, "Okay." And he'll be like, "How was your day?" "Good. How was yours?" "Good. Just been texting you all day, but you're not responding to me." She's like, "Sorry, I was busy." "Yeah, you gotta text me back." Haha. He's just so fucking creepy and cringe.
Dude, that's how like most of the dating coaches industry would act. They just don't film it.
I think Skippy is in the category of himself, but I actually think that Fresh and Fit went too soft on him. I think that they didn't give him the hard truth. If he was on my channel, I would have been. But they also like, you can't give advice like that to someone like publicly on air because it's like deep shit. Like Skippy, you are a fucking failure. You're failing in life. You gotta get your shit together. Like you can't tell someone that live on air because they can get defensive.
Dude, I'll debate him and destroy the Mormon religion. That'd be fun.
I mean, he would start crying within like 5 minutes, obviously. But yeah, hey, Christian, anything else you want to add, or anything
else I wanted to add? The folks that come by, thing like Miami, literally is all glitz and glamour. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the real Miami like I do, because the Miami that they talking about when it comes to South Beach is like a small microcosm compared to the.
Oh, you live in Miami, man?
No, I have family that live in Miami. I have family that actually live in Broward County, actually.
I live in Brickell
downtown, and I didn't know they had connects with certain clubs up in North Miami as well. You know what I'm saying? Like that Miami that you see is just like a small microcosm out of that whole area. There's more to Miami than what you see up in South Beach and then downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I live down the street from them. I could be 5-minute walk and I could be at Myron's place. So yeah, I mean,
you definitely know Miami like way more than I do, and I got family over there. You know what I mean? Because I understand, like, I'm from like the New York City area, like literally John. And I can actually understand like the whole New York City area from scratch, but that's like a whole different day in itself. So I'll digress from that. But this gets to be where like the chicks that they actually bring from FreshandFit's show, that's really like a small microcosm.
No, yeah, that's a very small representation of Miami. Those chicks do exist, but they're a very small representation of Miami. Okay, anyway, I just want to like make sure we get everyone on. So yeah, thank you for coming on, Christian.
No problem. All right,
make your bed. Go make your bed.
Yeah, you got to follow Jordan Peterson. You got to make your bed.
I definitely will.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right. Okay, so we want to.
Yeah, Clip, you're how many guys are gonna go hunt down that dick picture coming?
I don't fucking know. I'm gonna have.
Dude, I was so baffled. I was like, not in a million years. Like you could just judge a guy's fucking character. Yeah. It's like the same shit that like when Walter like Fresh was like, oh, I'll box it out with Preach. Preach is like, I accept, and then he fucking backed out, right? So that now they're gonna fucking back down all these copyright strikes too. So same with Wheat Waffles. There's no way he would ever debate me.
Someone says, John, did the videos on UMP coming as you talked about a while ago? What does that mean? Oh, you're supposed to like release something, or?
I have no idea.
Did you say you're gonna like release something about UMP, or is that what they're referring to?
I made something about David Swift. And we can make a couple words about him. I guess he's been talking more shit.
Has he?
David Swift told me personally that he's extremely nervous around women and he hates being around them, and that he tries to just frame all his dates for the girl to fuck so that she can literally just show up and he can have sex because he's too nervous and shy. And then the girl has to leave because he like can't handle being around her. And he like was super shy and nervous for his speech at the last SOPOT, and then suddenly didn't feel well and just skipped it. So those guys are a fucking joke. And they all think that they get like hand tattoos and shit, and that's cool. Those guys are obsessed with aim-mogging. What does that tell you? It's literally one of the dumbest things in the game. Like they'd rather go like aim-mog a guy than like bang some hot chick.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this. I've gone out with all of them. I do think that Marcus has a really good game. I think he's kind of a dick. I think he's an asshole. And
Yeah, he's obsessed with amogging.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
No.
I'm not gonna say he's an asshole. I do think he can be a dick, and I do think that he's going down a weird path. But I will give credit where credit is due. I do think he's really solid.
What do you mean
Alex,
going down a weird path?
like with fucking David Swift and like just like the weird path they've been going down.
Well, David's a master manipulator. You experienced that firsthand.
Alex Lindbergh, he's not as good as Marcus, but he's still quite decent. I've seen him pull, multiple times.
Alex Lindbergh went through my product with sealed chin.
So I will give him credit for that. Okay, let's have on Mark. All right, guys. So I posted the link. So okay, we're gonna be a little bit more strict. You do have to write out, in more detail what you want to talk about, and I'm probably gonna like vet you a little bit before I have you on because no more dicks. We're not gonna have any more dicks.
Dude, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to do that now.
For the love of God, no.
They've got the idea.
Yes, don't fucking ruin for everybody because you fucking are secretly low-key gay and you want to show your dick. Don't ruin for everybody. Okay, we have 200 people live on air, so if everyone can just hit the like button, that'd be awesome. We're dealing with fucking dudes showing their dicks over here.
Dude, I'm gonna rewatch that part just to see the look on your face because I was like a little confused, and then you're like, "Oh my god!"
You're not gonna see it. My tech guy's gonna like censor it right now.
He can't until it's processed, right?
I don't know. I already have him on the case. All right, let's bring Mark on.
Yeah, it's got to be posted first.
Okay.
And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is my mic working? There it is.
Yeah, you're good. Just
awesome.
No,
great.
dicks,
So
please.
I've been I've been doing day game for 10 years now. My count's probably over 300. I hate saying that stuff because it's very cringy. And John, I don't count. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's usually way overestimate if you don't count. But
no,
okay,
it's around that, but I don't give a shit about it because that's the reason why I left it. This whole childish stuff. So I reckon for guys out there which are kind of like curious about the rational.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Male stuff. My own personal opinion is it's a complete waste of time. I don't believe in hypergamy. I don't believe in SMV. I think trying to be alpha and all this bullshit is it's this try hard little alpha, trying to be a tough guy. I think it's all waste of time.
Wait, you said
That's
you don't
my
believe
opinion.
You don't believe in SMV? What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
SMV, I think you can use it as a basic, a basic idea of what you should do to improve. But to say that you shouldn't go out because girls won't like you because you're at 8 SMV, I think that's bullshit. And guys are using all this stuff as an excuse. This is what I don't like about the whole industry.
Yeah,
and
I agree with you there.
Well, that's only like the hardcore black pill and some of the red pill guys. Like the pickup guys aren't saying that.
The PUA guys, they aren't saying that, but more along the Rollo Tomasi lines and the Donovan Sharp, all these guys. Yeah, I don't like this attitude which they have.
Well, yeah, because I
covered
in one of the Wheat Waffle videos is that you have guys that never even cared about their looks from a sense of like being all caught up on it, and they read all this on the forums and watch these videos, and then they become really depressed because they're like, "Oh my god, I'm not perfect looking, therefore my whole life is fucked. I can never date."
Exactly,
etc.
And most of these guys which I worked with, and the reason why I'm out of it is because these guys are very insecure. They don't have any experience. And the same for Rollo. He's 50 years old. He hasn't dated for 30 years now. And to say that every single girl is the same, it's ridiculous because I've met over 30,000 girls from different cultures, from any single place in the world. And to even think a place like from America, from Illinois to Alaska or whatever, I don't know, is the same is ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing to believe. And also the female nature. I can't stand that bullshit.
I mean, I think we agree on everything. There's nothing you said.
Yeah, this isn't a debate. I was just coming off like a basic conversation. Yeah. But
yeah, man.
I mean, I Red Pill, Rollo Tomasi.
What's your day game opener?
Who has an opener these days? What is this, 2002?
What do you say first when you talk to the girl in day game?
It depends what mood I'm in. It depends what she looks like. It depends how she presents herself, what she's in the moment, where I am at that time, whether I'm in a coffee store, a park, whatever it is. So, okay, for example, just to answer your question, something vague, hey, excuse me, and guys out there, hey, excuse me, I love your energy, your fashion. Yeah. That's basically it.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's more semi-direct, I'd say. But yeah, the reason why, the other quick thing I want to touch on why I got out of it is because I reckon, in my own opinion, I like the old days when you had to go out and prove yourself, like John Anthony does, and also you can't really do infields here; it's illegal, which is the reason why I didn't do it.
Where do you live?
Australia,
Oh,
yeah,
it's illegal. It's
John
illegal
got
over
it.
there.
So it's illegal to record a mic and video at the same time.
Oh, that's weird.
You know what's legal there though is
Thing.
changing your mind about consent during sex. That's actually legal in Australia.
I didn't know about that. I don't really
It's new.
come across
It's
that
new.
myself.
It's a new rule.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is Australia like super social justice warrior? Because that seems like kind of like the case.
We're very sensitive towards the whole PUA thing. Yeah, we are politically and legally. And if someone finds out you do the whole PUA thing and you have a channel, and I've had like 5 different partners find out about my shit, which is one of the reasons why I quit, I've never talked to them again because they blocked me instantly. And I think that's the downside of being a coach in this industry, which is why I changed. Because it has a detrimental impact on your social life, who you meet, your reputation. Yeah, and you can lose your business in a second.
What do you do now, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, sure, go for it. So right now I'm focusing on self-development with business, more burnout, and focusing on who you are and where you are. So more about sort of the self-development industry for entrepreneurs
Okay, I want
in
to
the game.
I want to answer this question. So I think
Sure.
this is the question. We need a dating coach tier list, Alex. So let's see if we can come up with something. So
Yeah, everybody's asking me for that as well. Oh, you want to do it right now?
Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's do a quick one. So let's do this.
You and I are going to disagree.
Yeah, let's all go independently, and then
Sure.
we'll compile it and see if there's any overlap. Okay, so I would put myself on the list. I'm gonna preface it by saying I don't think I have the best game. I would say that I've gone out with John. I would say he has better game than me for sure, and I know other naturals have better game than me. So I don't think I'm like have the best game. I think I'm above average for sure. Probably like in the top 5%, but I wouldn't say I'm the best of the best. The reason I think I'm quite good is on top of being competent, I'm also really good at explaining things and teaching and breaking things down. So I think that when you're looking at a dating coach, you need to look at two things: skill and ability to explain. So I have some natural friends who have higher skill than me, but they can't explain shit. So I put myself on the list. I would put John on the list. John can be quite controversial in his style, isn't for everybody, but I don't think that negates whether, even if you think John is like
Wheat Waffles hacked into the stream after showing his talk. Fucking took down Alex. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get into this publicly because I don't know. I don't really respect hardly any of the coaches. The next best guys I know after myself don't have channels, and they coach me.
Well, first, when I first saw your stuff, I thought you were a sociopath, John. I love your attitude, what you say. In fact, I think what we say on my channel is very, very close. But there's a little bit of empathy in there, I think.
Yeah, I probably am. I mean, but it takes a special kind of person to take the game to the level I did.
But that's also the thing, is that for me, I found it very, on some level, emotionally draining to see someone every 3 or 4 days, which is new. I pushed myself really hard for 4 years, 3 or 4 dates a week consistently, smash it out. And even then, I was burnt out after about 3 or 4 weeks. Constantly.
Yeah, it never happens. It doesn't happen to me.
Well, if that's your thing, man, that's your thing.
Yeah. Alex said he has a tech issue.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, most of these guys, like I would say, like for a guy to be a coach, he should probably be minimum to have like a basic understanding of the game, like 150 count, but more.
I think 150 would be good. Yeah, but
more
do you think, guys?
More preferably over 300. Like people like AG Hayden just hit 100. Coach Kyle was at 120 like a couple months ago. There's a lot of guys that aren't even at 100 yet, including some of the biggest channels in the niche, like Trip Advice.
But I don't think you need 300 to get there. I mean, you can teach some of the basics and get there. But yeah, it depends. Also, the style that you teach will be different for other guys for learning that have different personalities, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I kind of universalize mine to be as easy to assimilate as possible and to like max jump the skill level as fast as possible. So it doesn't really matter. Like all the texting scripts are the same. They're using the same ones that I'm using personally, and they're all designed to be not coming from a specific personality or anything. They're kind of generic things, and it doesn't matter what the girl responds with. So my system is it's a tool for generating the max amount of dates and max amount of hookups while still being able to be yourself.
But does that work with all different demographics of girls, age, culture, what she's doing, university, business? Corporate?
Yeah, because it's the compliance model. So you assume everything's going to go well, and then when you hit points of non-compliance, you adjust accordingly. Only when you hit points of non-compliance, you don't need to like try to make a whole bunch of adjustments in advance.
That's actually a pretty good way. I like that. Yeah, I got out of it because it was just too much. The whole Manosphere now, I see it going downhill, and your channel could be cancelled any single second. So could Alex's. And the bigger you get, the more attention you get, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And we're putting a whole marketing engine behind our stuff now. So we're going to be on Facebook ads, YouTube ads, all kinds of different avenues. So it won't fucking matter if they cancel my YouTube channel.
I tried doing Facebook ads for Day Game a while ago, and because of the content nature, they wouldn't allow me to put it up.
Yeah. You just have to do different ways to get around that.
And that's why I changed also. From a business aspect, I think this is too risky. You're literally playing with fire.
Who, me?
Oh, anyone in the Manosphere. Hey, Alex.
Yeah. It's fun to play with fire. Right, Alex? He named his channel that.
I am back. All right. A little tech issue. Anyway.
Nietzsche says the secret to happiness is to live dangerously.
Who said that?
Friedrich Nietzsche.
Oh. Anyway, so back to the dating coach tier list. So I would put me, John, Austin Summers. For sure, I'm going out with the guy. I would put I'll probably put Coach
You're
Kyle.
talking about tier 1?
Yeah, just
tier
like
1.
I'm not gonna break it up in tiers. I'm just gonna say like the
they want a tiered list. If we're talking about the best coaches, I don't think Coach Kyle would fall on that. He just hit 120.
I would definitely put Austin Summers on that list. I would probably put Vadim on that list. Tier 1. I would put I'm trying to think who else.
Honest Signals. Vadim.
Yeah, Honest Signals. Those are the ones off top of my list. If Coach Kyle's not tier 1, he'd be top tier 2. Who would be your picks?
Guys without channels. And you for online and texting. But I have coaches on my team that are over 600 count. I have like 3 coaches that are over 600 count. They're some of the next best guys I know. Or I've like 10 years ago, like me and Houston back in 2013, we pulled like 12 for 12 days during the RSD World Summit.
Yeah, I mean it's not anyone's like heard though, so they won't be able to like. But yeah. I see your point. What about what's his name, Mark? Who would be on your list?
I would say Vadim first because Vadim has a very natural vibe, which I like. He's easygoing, he's relaxed. I would say back in the day, maybe not now, Street Attraction. He was actually quite charismatic, the guy which ran that place. John, I like his aggressiveness. I like his I'd say impact that he has towards game, and definitely you, Alex. I think.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You explain things very well, and you put things very systematically in how you explain things. Like most guys don't know how to do that with game, and I even struggle with that myself in coaching.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Cool. All right, let's Mark, do you have any final thoughts?
Just a quick question. Do you think it is necessary for guys to learn about red pill in order to get good at dating and having a good life?
No.
I think that it's detrimental.
I think that if you look at red pills in terms of looking for the truth, then yes. If you look at it in terms of like the shit
the industry,
then no.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's 80% bullshit. It's a waste of time. So yeah, it's just my opinion. But yeah, can I just do a quick plug for my 100 sub?
Yeah, go for it.
I thought you cut him off. I was like, damn, I was blocked. Can I just do a quick?
Yeah, so my channel is very small. I have no idea. No, I don't have any intention of getting big, but it's called
Is it
Social
smaller
Mastery.
than Waffle's cock?
It can't be any smaller than that, man. I already saw it. So it's Social Mastery, and it's pretty much got along the lines of Kevin Ray Wilder and Alex's content, a little bit of Johnson there too. So yeah, thanks very much for having me on.
Yeah, dude. Happy to have you on, man. Good chatting.
Awesome.
Take care, bro.
My middle name is actually Raymond. I could be John Ray Anthony.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any do we have any it's funny because whenever I do like these debates on my channel, everyone like pretty much agrees with me, which I guess means that, not
it's like that everywhere, dude. It's just the bias of the creator. I mean, everyone agrees with Fresh and Fit that follows them. The Todd V.
No, well, the thing with Fresh and Fit is the Fresh and Fit, like if you notice, like when they did that post yesterday, there's a lot of
shit on them.
But what they do is they either they delete the people or they kick the people off or they delete the comments. So they don't. If they open it up for like a real honest debate, there would be a lot of people who are not happy. Okay. Red Peter says, "Yo, Alex, you should let me debate John." Okay, can you write out what specifically you want to debate John about? So you have to say what exactly you want to bring up. Okay. John, is Tristan Tate admitting they're fraud after this? LMAO. What's your?
I sent him all the videos on WhatsApp like 2-3 days ago. All the ones that I made. Well, not all of them, but like 6 or 7 the most important. I haven't followed up, so I don't know. But I don't know how you couldn't after seeing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of confused by that myself because I do like the Tate brothers and they do seem very legit. I don't know them personally, but
I will. If I had to guess, they know that they're frauds, but it's a big platform. So if I had to guess,
yeah, that's probably would be my guess as well. Okay, so we'll go through a few questions if we have any. We're gonna go for another maybe 20-30 minutes. We're not gonna go for too long. So if you guys have any questions, get them in now. And what's it called? If anyone wants to, so someone said, Peter, you said you let me debate John. So just write out what exactly you want to debate.
Someone wants me to collab with Kevin Ray Wilder. I was actually, Alex did the intro to me. I was actually gonna set that up, but I didn't like what he was talking shit on Andrew Tate. So I don't think I'm gonna collab with him. He was saying Andrew Tate is a fake persona and fake alpha, and he thinks that Andrew Tate's trolling because it's over the top alpha. And I think that's a bitch thing to say. So I'm not going to be collabing with him.
I don't know, man. In that one interview that you're referring to, unless I'm missing something, he was like,
no, I watched it personally.
I don't know. I mean,
he was like legitimately asking if Andrew Tate's entire content was all trolling because no one could act like that. It's like how a high schooler would act if they read definition of alpha. That's what he said. But he was like making fun of him. So to me, fuck that kid. But I know you guys are friends. So.
Fair enough. What else do we have? Tate says he disagrees with a lot of. Tate says he disagrees with a lot of what FreshandFit says. Okay, yeah, I can see that. We'll get into it when he comes on the podcast. What are your thoughts on Coach Corey Wayne? I think me and John both agree that he kind of, not that good.
You know what's interesting though? Okay, like so this is kind of a phenomenon here. Some of these guys, even though they're totally full of shit, they push other people's stuff that was actually good advice. So like an astounding number of people came forward and said that Corey Wayne's stuff worked on some level for relationships. And I did some more digging and he's just like ripping off some dude from the past that was actually like a G. And so I would say that the information is probably legit, but not because of Corey Wayne being good at game or Corey Wayne being the man or getting a lot of girls, but because he stole it all from this guy that knew what he was talking about and made it public. So that's what I think is going on there personally. But it's definitely not the case that Corey's a fucking alpha pimp.
Peter said he wants to debate the significance of game in 2021. Hormaxing is a better alternative.
Oh, God. That sounds like a waste of time. If you want to, I'll debate him. I think it's a waste of time, though.
I mean, no, if you're not digging in, then whatever.
Well, is this one of the you and I talked about this a bunch offline about how the relevance of game. We both know that it's incredibly important at every step of the way from macro and micro level, and that's not really debatable at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that whore maxing will make you happy. Like, I don't think fucking whores is the key to happiness. I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to being happy, and that won't really make you happy. Okay, if we don't have, it's pretty cool. We have 200 live viewers, but if we don't have any real,
why don't you give? Did you give your whole overview on the?
Yeah, I did.
Situation?
Yeah, in the beginning, we covered all that.
Do you want to cover it again for people that joined late, like a summary?
Nah, I mean, they can watch it from the beginning. I don't want to get like repetitive because then for anyone who's been here the whole time, it'll be boring. I just want to see if there's any questions that I missed.
Oh, here we go. Wait, here, put this one up because this becomes more and more of a burning question in people's minds. The Bizao do zappity bop bop bop. Okay, so I announced when I hit 150 right when I moved to Vegas in January 2013, I hit 150, and all the forums were like, "Oh my god, no one!" Because back then, no one was even close to 100 and stuff like that in 2013. And I was like, no, like I had a field report thread where I was chronicling like every fucking and search my videos for Field Report, I release them. It's like every night out, and it shows all the closes with pictures of the girls, all this shit. This is from 10 years ago. And basically, I was like, I'm going to have to pull 150 on camera. It's being my first infield. Has to be a 9+. It has to be me wearing like the J-Mal of 150 shirt. And it took like 2-3 weeks because I didn't have the opportunity. Plus, the shirt was weirding girls out and stuff like that. I had like 150 stick figures on the back. But Alex knows me really well. I mean, I'll let you speak to this. But he was in a group chat where I was posting every close for a long time. There was like hundreds. And we hung out a bunch for several days. We fucked how many girls in that weekend? Like 10? Or something like that.
I would say that for most people, if they said 1,300, I probably might not believe them. But having hung out with John and seeing how fucking dedicated he is to banging you girls, in my opinion, like way too dedicated to it, then it totally makes sense. John is the kind of guy that would bang a chick at 8 p.m. and then like most guys would just chill for the rest of the evening. He would go out at 10 p.m. and then he would go out at midnight and then he would stay up until 3 a.m. and try to get one last one in. If he didn't get that last one at 3 a.m., he would be like fucking bummed out that he only got 3.
That's like exactly right. Yeah,
and he would spend 2 hours like being like, fuck, dude, like I was so close, man. She almost was there. Like, dude, you banged 3 chicks. Yeah, I know, man, but the fourth one.
It's not like that as much anymore, but yeah, it was like that for a while. The best year I did 246 new closes, and that was like everything fell by the wayside. I wasn't even like eating properly. But yeah, no, I take the count very, very, very seriously. I have a video on my channel. If you type in under my videos, type 1,000 or just proof. I have a video that's over an hour long. My proof.
Dude, one thing I don't get is how did the appeal of new pussy did not like, I understand it never completely wears off, but didn't like get like a little stale for you? Because I speak from my personal experience, dude. Like the first, like, I don't know, 200 or whatever. Yeah, I was like exactly like you. I was like super excited about, but then just like it's not like I don't want to fuck new chicks. Like I see a hot girl and I want to fuck her, and I do get.
I love banging new chicks, but there's like the whole aspect of love.
It doesn't give me that dopamine high like it used to. Like you still get that dopamine rush from a new chick.
Yeah,
really. Yeah. I guess your brain is just wired a little differently because I don't get that like anymore. Like
to me, I don't look at it much differently than like mastering chess or poker. Like, would a chess grandmaster get bored playing chess? Would a poker pro get bored playing poker? It seems
sometimes,
like
honestly, some of them do. Like I used to play poker, and then I just got sort of bored.
As you get like more and more data and more information, you can like see new angles. Like there's like stuff that I saw this year that I never saw before, and that's like incredibly exciting. It doesn't happen as much as it used to, but like no interaction is perfect, and there's always like missteps, and it's a game of incomplete information. So there's always this like almost like a slot machine effect. Even though you're using skill, there's a luck component, and sometimes it doesn't fall when it could.
Bro, you guys start an OnlyFans and you just bang chicks live on OnlyFans. You'll make money and you'll.
Well, look at what these guys. Look what happened to Squat and Casanova. Look what just happened to Tom Torero. Those guys were showing like proof of the banging.
Sure, but those guys were. The problem is that those guys were doing it without the girl's permission. So if you have like a legit OnlyFans where like the chicks are aware that you're fucking them, like I think.
No, but they're talking about like seeing the closes happen. I assume is what he means. Not like seeing how I fuck or something like that, which wouldn't make sense. But like I have infields. I have over 100 infield pulls on camera, taking the girls from open all the way back home. The thing is, the arguments I make in that video is like I'm like obsessive about the number, and like guys have seen me pull hot girls, and like no one would know the difference if I banged her or not. And I'm like, fuck, I only got a blowjob. Doesn't count in the number. They're like, why would I bang her? I'm like, I don't think so, dude. So like it doesn't. And I've been reporting it on YouTube back since it was like in the 700s because I made my YouTube towards the end of 2017. I was reporting on the forums ever since I had 100 in 2012. And I have like these long extended periods of field reports. I have that group I was in with you and David Swift. Do you remember? I was posting every close.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it all.
I'm just saying all the evidence. I posted 300 closes in a row on Instagram. Like I've taken it very seriously. So I know the number at all times, and I don't ever lie about it or exaggerate about it. But yeah, as it's gotten higher and higher, it was particularly annoying once I hit 1,000. Everyone's like, "Oh, isn't that convenient?" It sounds like, I mean, that's what Fresh Prince did. He said 1,500, then he changed it to 1,000, and he was saying that per year, which obviously.
I mean, dude, honestly, I was a little concerned that like once you hit 1,000, you would just like not have a motivation to live anymore, and you would just be like fucking like mad depressed and like just like off yourself. Like, what the fuck is the point anymore? I've hit 1,000. Like, you've stayed motivated, Peter.
Well, I haven't even tried to max the number really because I've always ran big rotations. and I often prioritize the rotations. So like on most nights that I could be on new dates or banging new chicks, I'm with new girls. Like there was a day recently I banged 5 chicks in a day and they're all repeat. And I'm not usually banging that many in a day anymore, 2, 3, but like the 5 in a day, those were all repeat. They're all hot girls, and it was still awesome. But I could have went, like the opportunity cost, I could have went and banged new shit. But it's been like that for a long time. I'm not always just like balls to the wall, or like people think I must sacrifice quality. I kept the quality very, very high, which you saw in that group as well and on Instagram.
Yeah, Peter. So it says your device is not connected, so you don't have to turn your camera on, but I can't. It won't let me actually have you on if your micro cam is.
That's
not
a dumb topic, anyways. What's whore maxing? What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know, but people are asking in the comments, have Peter on, so let's see what he has to say. We'll keep it
Whore
brief.
maxing. He's going to make an argument to buy a bunch of prostitutes?
I don't know. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, there we go. All right, let's pray that there won't be any dicks shown. Yo,
Hello? Yo, what's up?
what's up, man?
Thanks for having me on, Alex. Appreciate it.
No problem. No
You're a
problem.
good guy. I like that you're an advocate of free speech. You know, you will entertain different ideas even if you disagree with them. So keep it up.
Thanks. Wait, is it? Are you?
Yeah, I'm the same guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. John, I've seen maybe 10 of your videos. You seem like a massive piece of shit. So I kind of wanted to debate you.
Yeah, dude, you didn't see this coming here, Alex? The way he's fucking talking in the chat. Kick him off. Fuck this kid.
Well, let's keep it respectful. Like, let's not.
No, he's obviously in his idea of whore maxing. He's probably going to say some shit based on the modern life dating slander.
I don't know who modern life dating is.
Okay, well, fuck you. I'm
What-
not going to
what-
debate this kid. He's already fucking talking shit, being disrespectful.
Yeah, if you can like take that back and like say
No, I'm not fucking debating him because he's fucking running his mouth. I don't know why you let these fuckers go on the channel too.
I mean, I like a good discussion, but
I mean, it was a basic greeting. I mean, it was definitely warranted, John. Come on.
okay. Well, Peter, we're gonna.
I mean, the guy admitted to being a sociopath, did he not?
Okay, Peter, we're gonna remove you out of respect to John because he is an established guest on this channel. So,
Yeah, that's fine, man.
okay.
Continue your good content. John, go fuck yourself.
All right.
Yeah, I saw that coming literally a mile away. You're like, no, they're asking in the comments. His question was a loaded question that was slanted at trying to smear me. Fuck that kid.
No, this guy, I thought he legitimately wanted to have a debate. I would not
Of course
like.
not.
I would not have. He's you know what's funny? He's been on this channel before, and he's always been like pretty chill. Like I had him on.
Dude, there's so many weirdos. I was like this close to bringing security to 21 conventions since I made a lot of enemies and shit, calling people out. And some other fucker, I already told you the story. Some other fucker like was threatening my life there, running up in my face and all this shit. There's a lot of fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too scared. Why don't you email me and we'll set something up and film it, you little faggot.
All right. So yeah, guys, let me give you the rule of thumb. So the way I operate is if you want to come on, you can. I don't give a shit what you say about me, but you do have to be respectful to the other guests on the channel. So, and I do this when I have chicks on the studio. So the only people who I will not read their comments, I will not allow you. Is if
Dude, he was already trolling in the fucking chat. It was very
No,
obvious.
you have to be respectful
That was
to
the
the
only way that could have went. Same with Wheat Waffles wanting to come on stream. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we've had a lot of trolls today. All right. So do we have any legitimate debate requests? Do we have anything before we call this a stream? This is interesting. Let's start off. We got dick pics. Yeah.
My poor chick's fucking waiting for me to hang out. I'm like, let me hop on this stream really fast.
No, man. I mean, I don't want to keep you. We'll.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna bounce out. But thanks. I got a cool video dropping tomorrow for any of you guys that aren't fans of mine. John Anthony Lifestyle. I just interviewed one of the girls that got kicked off of Myron's show that spit in his face. I interviewed her for like an hour. She lives in his building, so there's lots of good shit coming on that tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Which chick was it?
Kay Jenkins.
She spit in his face.
Yeah, she was on one of the episodes where T was on. She's got like big tits, big fake tits. Fake
Oh,
lips.
I know which one. Selena Powell's friend.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fresh drove her and Selena home in a Lambo. He was fucking pussing out. She called him a giant pussy. There's a lot of good info coming out.
Oh, okay. All right.
All kinds of shit about Myron in the building. She just dropped lots of gems everywhere.
All right. Cool.
So,
Looking forward to that.
others
Speaking of which, I actually saw, I'm not going to dox her, but I saw Miranda yesterday. She got a job at a bar near me.
Wait, is this the Thanksgiving girl?
It was Fresh's ex.
The one
The
Fresh
sugar
was
baby.
simping over? Yeah.
Yeah. I saw her. Yeah, she looked pretty sad. I feel bad for her, dude. I don't think she deserves all this. She probably has so many guys hitting her up and like fucking hating on her. Like, sure, she's a gold digger, but at the end of the day, I think she's like, she didn't ask for it, and I feel bad for her. She just probably like got in way over her head.
Yeah, I think it got carried away. He's like, yeah, you can be on my show, you can be cool, this and that, and then she
probably has like death threats and shit.
She started fucking the crew. Like she fucked his. I think she probably fucked his coworkers, not him. Who knows though? She wouldn't even kiss him on the camera or let him kiss her cheek.
She banged one of the guys who's there, but I don't know which guy it is.
Yeah, he got pointed out. One of the crew guys. Yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Brother.
We'll catch you later. All right. Take care, John. All right. Yeah, we do got to keep it respectful to the guest, guys. That's common courtesy. You know, I would do that for anyone, you know, regardless of whether I'm friends with them or not. Even if I was debating someone, if you come in and, you know, you are being disrespectful to the guest, you know, I can't allow that. How is it fair to say fuck you debate guest and just because he gets butthurt shut the other guy? That's not free speech. Because I don't have to have anyone on the platform. I didn't ban this guy. I didn't. He's been on the channel before. I didn't ban him. I didn't kick him off. I didn't tell him not to say. But I have to be respectful to guests who are on my channel. Like that's common courtesy 101. Like it's like if you come over my house and you talk shit to my roommate or my girlfriend, I'm not silencing you, but I have to ask you to leave because you're being disrespectful to a guest. It's different. I have a completely different standard. Like, you know, if you want to talk shit to me, I'll happily go down the rabbit hole with you and debate you. I don't give a fuck, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. All right. So I think we have one more. We're going to do one last one. This has been a very interesting stream. We started off strong and then we've had like dick pics and fucking people cursing each other off. Okay, so do we have any legitimate people who want to debate? I'll do one more. So let's pick the best one. Write in there what exactly you want to debate about. I actually have a girl who's planning on coming over later as well. So you got to wrap it up. So if anyone, what's it called, wants to have a legitimate debate, write in the chat. What do you want to debate about? Don't send me private messages. Just write it in the chat so people can vote on it, and we'll do it. Yeah. All right. Should you sexualize early during text? In my opinion, no. I think you should build up a little tension. But it depends on your profile. If you have a sexual profile, then yes. If you don't have a sexual profile and you have to go into it smoothly. Brad Smith says, I want to debate the pros and cons of FreshandFit, how they can improve. Okay, but is there anything with me that you disagree with specifically? Because we've had a few people on, and it's great. They're always good to connect with people, but you know they just basically agree with me. So, what specifically do you want to debate on that I've said in the past, or you disagree with me on? Okay, can you point out what's wrong with Corey Wade? My friend's really into him. I haven't watched that much of his content, but he is very beta in general, like his vibe. I don't really imagine he gets laid at all or barely ever. You can just tell by the way he carries himself and the way he talks. He's just not like a guy who gets laid. I don't know. It's like one of those things, game recognizes game, but I haven't watched enough of his content to really like tell you what specifically he's wrong about. So yeah. I have a gym day coming up. Can you give me some escalation tips? She's into fitness. I would not do a gym date. I would still meet her at a bar or something like that. I think gym dates kind of suck in general, so I would not do that. That would be my take on that. I'll just meet her at a bar or something. I agree. FreshandFit shouldn't have copyright strike on his channel. Yep. Thoughts on Good Looking Loser and Kill Your Inner Loser? I like both of them. I've had Kill Your Inner Loser on, and I like him. And the Good Looking Loser, I've been trying to get him on, so I like both of them. I think a lot of criticism is unfair, and I think it would be a good discussion. I'm respectful and neutral and fans of both of you. Okay. We can do that. Yeah, okay. We'll do a quick one. Yeah. All right. Brad Smith, come on. We have someone called Rob TV. Rob TV, write what exactly you want to discuss. And we'll do it. I'm like starting to lose my voice. Should you always schedule a date near your place at a bar? Yes, you should. I do recommend that. What do you think about Tay Socials? I generally am a fan of his game, honestly. I've been trying to get him on for a podcast for a while, but he doesn't seem to like really post content anymore or do podcasts, but I would love to get him on. All right. I think someone messaged me in private chat. Rob TV, I'm backstage, the limits of game. Rob, yeah, you have to give me more information on what exactly you want to discuss. Okay, here. I sent you a what's it called? A link. So you can click on that link, Brad Smith. Could you get Tanner Guzzi on again for fashion tips? Yeah. I mean, the stream didn't really get that many views. So, I only really repeat streams where like there's a lot of engagement. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it again if there's a lot of demand for it. Okay, someone private chatted me. Let's see. Basically, how someone with low looks could improve with game. Yeah, Rob TV. The only thing is that like that sounds like a black pill debate. So I've already done that. I'll happily do it another day. But let me have because I don't think it's gonna be too relevant to this theme of the stream. So let me have Brad Smith on, and then yeah. Okay, there he is. All right, let's have him on. This is gonna be the last stream, the last debate, guys. Yeah, because I want to wrap this up. Benjamin, write in the comments what exactly you want to debate about. Like what exactly you want to discuss. Okay, let's have Brad on. Yeah, let's go. What's up?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man, we got you. Thanks for coming on.
Sweet, man. I'm a big fan of the channel, so I appreciate it. I think this format is super cool, and hope we have a good discussion. So,
have you been on the stream before? Because your avatar looks familiar.
No, this is my first time ever on a stream like this, but I do comment a lot, and I'm a fan. I'm kind of a fan of a lot of people in the Manosphere, and usually people think I'm not a fan of them because I comment constructive criticism a lot of the time, because to me that seems more productive than just commenting what I agree with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I like doing debates, and obviously I think most of my supporters agree with me. So it's like I feel I kind of like, hey, I want to come on and talk to Alex. But the only problem is that content is not that like exciting for the audience if we're just agreeing with each other. So like I do try to like, I mean, one of these days I'll do a stream where I'll just like allow anyone to come on and just like talk to me for a minute or two. But I do have to keep it like entertaining for the audience. And I think sometimes like the debates, that's when you really get like gems. But yeah, anyway, so what specifically did you want to does he sound like Kevin Ray? Someone's saying you sound like Kevin Ray Wilder. I can see that. But anyway, so what specifically did you want to debate about?
Yeah, so I guess the main thing would be I just think a lot of the criticism towards FreshandFit, I mean, I could see some of it being valid, but I think a lot of it's unfair because I think a lot of you guys are putting FreshandFit in a position where it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, because you're going to find a way for them to lose. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Let's say that Fresh doesn't have the Lambo, doesn't have the nice clothes, then I feel like you guys are going to say, oh, he's a loser, he's a bum, he's a fraud, he don't make no money. But then if he has the Lambo, the nice clothes, you guys are going to be like, oh, he's try hard, he's just a dork that finally got some money. So it's like, damn, like I feel like you guys are already decided like you don't like them. So then anything they do, you're going to nitpick. And with this whole recent situation with the copy strike, I'm not saying I agree with it or disagree with it. I see, I see where people are coming from, but I see why they got so frustrated because they probably feel like, fuck, like everybody's on our neck no matter what we do, they're not stopping. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
All right, so let me kind of refute that. So with the whole copyright thing, I think that issue is pretty black and white. Fresh and Fit was on a pretty good track record. They had their whole incident 3-4 months ago, and they took a big hit, and then they were coming back. They had some big time content creators on. They got fucking Jordan Peterson on. God only knows why. So you know they were actually doing quite good. They just hit 500K. So yes, there were still people making content about them, but most YouTubers were kind of got tired of it and had just moved on. And then they do this, and then what happens? Every YouTuber starts making content now because this is super fucked up, super fucking dumb. So one, it's a dumb move on their part, and two, they largely bring it on themselves. I'm not going to say they completely bring it on themselves. I agree that even if they, start doing everything perfectly, that there'll still be some people making content on them. But the vast majority of people who are criticizing them, especially the people with big channels, are doing it rightfully so. So I'll be interested if you can find one thing that I personally criticized them on that I feel like I was wrong about, like one specific point.
So okay, so I can think of one, and I do see both sides of it. So, for example, I am a fan of Fresh and Myron. I don't put them on a pedestal like they're perfect, but here's an example I can think of.
Mhm.
I know that Myron gets pissed off at the girls a lot, and he does a Frank Castle, and I'll admit sometimes Myron does get angry too easily. Sometimes he is over the top. I can see that point, but at the same time, when he does this Frank Castle, you guys say, "Oh, he's being a fake alpha, he's being over the top, etc." But if he were to just let the girls disrespect him and just take it like a punk, then you guys would just call him a punk. So he gets so much criticism for that. But to be honest, if a woman's disrespecting me in my house, I'm also going to kick her out. So I don't see how the criticism for that is legitimate. Like, if he has a woman in his apartment that's being super disrespectful, he kicks her out. That is what an alpha does. Like,
right. The issue is that Myron largely brings that on himself. So if you notice that I've been doing podcasts not nearly as long as them with chicks, but I've never had to kick a chick out, right? Because I don't put myself in that position. When someone looks like an easy target, like someone looks like they get butthurt and emotional, people are gonna provoke them. That's natural human reaction. And that's what the chicks see in Myron. They're like, this guy is so fucking tightly wound and he's so fucking insecure that I can provoke him. So they have these discussions which get a little heated, right? Because controversial topics. And then they see this guy is fucking getting so wound up. So that's not going to happen to a truly alpha guy, at least not the vast majority of the time. I would say that out of, I don't know how many kickouts they've done, let's just say 50. Out of those 50, maybe 4 or 5 were warranted. Like maybe 4 or 5 would have been chicks that I would have kicked out.
Oh man, I would. I don't mean to interrupt at all. I would say it's the opposite, man. I would say out of 50, there's probably 5 where I say, okay, Myron was kind of being over the top. But I mean, if you see how these girls are, how they talk and how they act, I mean, the last couple of weeks, I think Myron's actually been letting disrespect slide too much, probably because he hears all the criticism from you guys and he thinks, oh, well, I don't want to feed into that stereotype that I get mad too easily. So the last couple of weeks, he's been letting girls slide. There was Selena Powell and her dumbass friend ruined half the episode with Andrew Tate, and that pissed me off.
Well, let's be clear,
Andrew,
they didn't.
Yeah,
They didn't ruin the episode in terms of a financial perspective. That's what gets the views. That's what gets the clicks. Fresh and Fit wants that kind of shit to happen because that's what people watch. Their most popular videos or chicks getting kicked out. So from their perspective, that didn't really ruin the episode. In fact, that made the episode better. Because
okay, yeah.
Look,
I can see it. Yeah.
If you're like the first time you get your car stolen, you might be a little bit more careful where you park it. But if you keep parking your car in the same damn spot, you can't be annoyed that people keep stealing it, right? it's the same type
Right.
of principle here. Like, you already figured out that these trashy chicks, like, they have no shortage of chicks who want to come on, that these trashy chicks are going to act like that. So stop inviting trashy girls. But they don't do that because they realize that's the content that is what gets clicks, right? So that's a whole separate issue. So it's not like, Fresh and Fit are victims to these chicks or like coming on disrespecting me. No, they choose to invite them on. Like, if I choose to make you my friend and you're a known thief and you steal my money, I'm partially responsible for that.
Okay.
I made the
So
decision, especially if you're a known thief. I made the
Mhm.
decision to associate with you, and I'm partially responsible for that. But going back to the whole the kickouts thing, again, an alpha guy, a truly alpha guy, he doesn't feel the need to overcompensate. The thing is that quite often, Myron, sometimes there are chicks who are legitimately disrespectful. I think part of that is just because they watch some of his episodes and they already go in there with the intention of causing trouble. And part of that is just the reputation Myron has developed, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
you develop a bad reputation, it comes back to bite you in the ass. Like, when I was in middle school, I used to think it was a good idea to act up like a clown, and then girls wouldn't take me seriously. Like, whose fault is that? It's partially my fault, right? Because I made a decision. I developed that bad reputation. So you develop a reputation for being an asshole, and people are going to try you. But quite often, I think, the chicks aren't actually trying to disrespect Myron. They're giving them a shit test. So chicks give shit tests. This is like game 101. Like, it happens to me all the time. Like, I'm on a date and a chick will give me a little shit test, right? What do? Do I get reactive? Do I say, oh, fuck you, you're disrespecting me? No, I pass the shit test. I let it roll off my shoulders. And what happens when you do that is the chick respects you more. She's like, okay, this is not the kind of guy that will get easily phased by shit. And like, a real alpha guy knows that. If you watch, if you watch my podcast episodes, there's a few where chick kind of pushed the line, where chick did get a little disrespectful. Just watch the difference between how I handle it and how Myron handles it. It's two completely different things. Like, I usually just fuck around and tool a girl, and eventually she realizes she's acting like a fool, and the podcast continues. Myron gets all like huffing and puff and like, get the fuck out, like fucking disrespecting me. That's not how a real alpha guy carries himself. Now, their recent defense is, oh, but we never said we were alpha. That's your defense? You never said you were alpha? Like, you don't consider yourself an alpha guy? Like, I'll say it. Like, I don't like bragging or something like that, but I consider myself an alpha guy. Like, I'm not like going to deny that. So
Right.
that's your defense. That's the best defense you can come up with, is that, oh, I never said I was an alpha guy. All right, so that means you're a beta guy then, right? So is that what you're saying? Like, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my take
So
on that.
I do agree with you on that. I'm a fan of Fresh and Fit, and I do agree with you on that. Though I don't think a man should ever say I'm not alpha, or at the very least, he should say, "Hey, I'm becoming alpha. Like, I'm on my journey to becoming alpha." But can I touch real fast on? I want to touch real quick on the Andrew Tate episode specifically,
Go ahead.
real quick, and then your broader point, because I followed everything you said. I think a lot of it, I definitely see where you're coming from. So
Go ahead, man.
the reason the Andrew Tate episode pissed me off so much is because I'm a huge Andrew Tate fan. I'm a fan of a lot of guys in the Manosphere. I think they all bring something different to the table. They all have pros and cons, strengths and weakness.
Yeah,
Now, here's the thing.
I'm a fan of Tate too. Yeah, we have that in common.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So the Andrew Tate episode, the reason I say Selena Powell and her friend ruined the first half of the episode is because I'm going to keep it real. If it was just a regular guest, like some regular guy, I would not have even cared that much. I would have still been annoyed. But when you have Andrew Tate on there for 3 hours, and the first half of the show is just two girls being annoying as fuck, we don't even get to hear Andrew Tate talk for the first half of the show. That's a total waste of the first half of the show. Now, back to my original point, I think Myron back in the day.
Let me just really quickly, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me comment on that, and then we'll get to your second point. So it is a waste of a show if your goal is to see Andrew Tate, which is a reasonable goal. But in terms of views and all that, it's not a waste of an hour. It's actually like it's great.
Okay. So I wanted thank you for reminding me, because I wanted to touch on that. I see your point on that.
Let me just add one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
On that. So Selena Powell, she's not a stranger to podcasts. She's been on quite often. FreshandFit knows that. She pretty consistent. Like the way she acted on that show is very consistent how she's acted on in every single podcast. You know what you're going to get with Selena Powell. She's not like a newcomer, right? So if you choose to invite her and you put her next to Andrew Tate during the same time, whose fault is that really? You know what she's going to be like. You know that you have Andrew Tate on. Whose fault is that for scheduling that? You can't, dude. It's like I get a dog. I go on my way and buy a dog, and my dog starts barking. I'm like, oh fuck, this fucking dog. You can't blame a dog at that point. Like you chose to invite this person on. You have to take responsibility for that. Myron likes to talk about taking responsibility unless it involves himself, in which case he doesn't like to take any responsibility and just blame it on everybody else. So, like you can't expect Selena Powell to carry herself like a professional businesswoman. Like that's not who she is. Like she's no stranger to the internet. You chose to invite her and on the same time as Andrew Tate, and you're going to get shit like that. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I choose to go in like the ghetto of Miami with my money out, I can't act surprised when I get robbed. Why do these people rob me? Like, I don't understand. It makes no sense. I chose to do that.
Yeah,
okay.
I see. No, I see what you're saying, and I agree with that. That would be a constructive criticism I have for Fresh and Fit is why the hell did you bring Selena Powell and her friend on the Andrew Tate episode? Now, I do want to touch on your point. Because I knew you were going to say that. Look, if we're looking at it from that angle of just getting the views, getting the money, then okay, I guess it's good for views. But this is what I would say. If you're going to go that route, do it on a different episode, because when we're talking about an episode with Andrew Tate is one of the realest guys out there. He has a lot of very important information that men need to hear. So don't do a 3-hour Andrew Tate episode where the first half of the show is wasted by those girls. That's my constructive criticism for them. So what I would say in addition to that, and then I want to touch on your broader point that you brought up, is I feel like Myron back in the day, he would have kicked out Selena Powell and her friend in the first 15, 20 minutes. And then we would have had an entire 3-hour episode where we actually get to hear Andrew Tate. Instead, he waits an hour and a half to kick them out. Now we only get an hour and a half to hear Andrew Tate. And I'm only guessing, I'm not speaking for Myron, but I think the reason he did that, okay, it could be for views. I'll give you that. It could be what you said. But I think another reason he might have done that is because now he's trying to show, I'm not the guy who gets angry too easy. I'm not the guy who gets butthurt too easy. And in him trying to do that, I think he's letting the girls get away with way too much. Because go watch the Andrew Tate episode. Selena Powell and her friend are being extremely disrespectful for an hour and a half before they get kicked out. And people are probably still going to be mad at Myron for kicking them out. So... But I do want to say this to your broader point, though, about how they bring on the trashy girls. So how can they be surprised or upset when trashy girls disrespect them? So I agree with that. I see what you're saying. But there is two ways to look at it, right? Because you said yourself, you're like, I bring girls on my you bring girls on your platform. You never have that problem. But here's the thing. When you bring girls on your platform, you're bringing on girls that are very respectful, that are good people, good personalities, and
generally speaking, there's some exceptions, but yeah, generally speaking.
Right, generally speaking. And I imagine that's what you try to look for, right? I mean, you're not going to bring on a disrespectful, trashy girl on purpose because you're trying to have a respectful woman on. Now, here's the thing is that would actually be a constructive criticism I would have for Fresh and Fit, to be honest. Even though I'm a Fresh and Fit fan, I would say bring on more girls that are at least an 8, a 9, or a 10. Because let's be real, nobody gives a shit about the opinion of a 5 or a 6 or even a 7, unless you're trying to get those kind of girls in the long term.
Right. Let me just comment on that. Sorry, let me just quickly weigh in.
Yeah.
So the problem is, I've talked about this in the past, is they're in a little conundrum. Because the kind of chicks that will come on my channel will not come on their channel. Doesn't mean that I'm like, not because I'm better than them or something like that. They're way more, popular. The reason is that a normal chick who has a normal job, she looks at their channel. She's like, why would I go on here? I have a job. I don't need to be fucking the potential of being disrespected. I don't need this kick out. I don't need this association. with my career, with my face. I don't need this in my life, so I'm not going to go on there, right? Versus most chicks, again, there's some chicks who don't want to come on my show, but most chicks, they look at it like, okay, it's more of like a discussion. I don't really rag on chicks. I don't really disrespect them, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to be more inclined. So the problem they're having is the only kind of chicks who will go on their show at this point are the chicks who really want the clout. And most of the time, the chicks who want the clout are going to be the trashy girls. Like most of the, like let's call them respectful girls, they don't care about the clout that much that they'd be willing to do that. So that's like the little issue that they're in. They kind of brought it on themselves again. There's countless examples, but let's take the redheaded chick that I interviewed. I don't. Do you know who I'm talking about? The redheaded chick. She was on their show. She was on my show.
Is it just pearly things?
No. Just pearly things is another example. No, I'm talking about. It was before that. But anyway, so. What I will say is, she told me about her experience on there, talked about live on air. Now, this chick said some things I disagree with, right? She was a little bit more feminist than, obviously I would agree with. And we had a respectful debate on my channel, right? But, on their show, like what she was telling me is these guys were super fucking aggressive and dismissive. They didn't listen to me. They took my phone away, but they won't take away the guys' phones. So she felt disrespected. And on top of it, when she got in the elevator, the producer, Aaron, got in with her. So after the interview, she said, hey, guys, I know we had a debate, but thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. And then they get in the elevator, and the producer, Aaron, just starts fucking reaming her out, saying, this is why you're single, because you believe this shit. This is why no one will ever date you. That's how you treat your guests. That is how you carry yourself. You invite someone on your show. They show up. That chick, by all standards, was very respectful to them. And then you have your producer get in the elevator with her and start lecturing her, insulting her personally. Like, what the fuck? And that's the kind of shit that makes girls reluctant to go on their show, normal girls. But a chick who really wants to tag, an OnlyFans girl, she's like, I don't give a fuck, whatever. Let them fucking say whatever they want for 2 hours. I'll get 10,000 followers and I'll make an extra $20,000. So that's kind of the conundrum they're in right now.
Right. Okay. So I just want to say, kind of finish up the point I was making before, is my theory on it, just from what I've seen, is I've seen episodes of the podcast where they have on beautiful women that are very respectful and high quality internally and externally. And they have a show for 2 or 3 hours. There's no arguments. There's no drama. And everything's good. Now, I think the reason that most of their shows, because I'll admit that seems to be the minority, and I wish it was more, to be honest, but I think the reason most of their shows is disrespectful, ratchet, and let's be honest, usually pretty ugly females, is because, like you said, it does get more views, it does go viral, and, I think obviously they like that. But I also think, and I never really heard anybody talk about this, so I'm curious your thoughts. I think a big part of the reason they do bring on the ghetto disrespectful chicks is they want the arguments to get the views, but also it is eye-opening for a lot of men to see, wow, this woman is like a 5 at best, disrespectful, ratchet, and dumb, but she wants a millionaire with a 6-pack, and this is how she talks, this is how she acts. So I think on the one hand, it is to get drama for the views, but on the other hand, it is educational in a way, because you realize, wow, these low quality, ugly women, they want to use guys for money. They want millionaires. They want all this.
Yeah, I would right away object to that last statement. Because I think that's not educational. It's problematic because a lot of these guys who watch this show, they assume that, this is what chicks are like. This is what girls are like. And so they go into every situation thinking, this chick is going to be, just a gold digger, blah, blah. Most girls are not actually like that. I know this because I go out and talk to a shitload of girls. Of course, there are some girls who are like this. They exist, more so in Miami. But I also live down the street from these guys, right? There's plenty of girls who are not like that at all. They don't care about that shit. So I think the problem is when you paint an image and you want to try to prove a point over and over again, you mislead your audience. The second thing I want to mention is it's not just with the girls. Like, this is a pattern of behavior that you see from Fresh and Fit. I don't know if you were watching earlier in the stream, but I showed that video where I'm just walking down the street and Myron starts yelling at me and demanding that I never mention Fresh and Fit ever again. Like, just start yelling like a crazy person, demanding that. His approach wasn't, "Hey, Alex, man, like, hey, dude, can you do me a favor, blah, blah. Yo, you better not mention me again." Like, that's how you carry yourself. That's how you conduct yourself.
I can tell you, I see both sides of that, Alex. And, keep in mind, I'm a fan of you and I'm a fan of Myron. So I'm not even choosing sides. But have you ever considered this? I'm not saying Myron is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is a new perspective. From Myron's perspective, he thinks that you talk shit about him in one of your videos. You might have a different perspective, but that's what Myron thinks.
Sorry, let me just mention this. So that video there was no talking shit. It was like, I'm going to find this video eventually, but it was at this point I haven't made a single video about Fresh and Fit. So it was just literally an offhand remark where I said, yeah, my friends at the Fresh and Fit podcast think this, but I believe that. That was the extent of it. That was literally what he was taking issue with.
Right. So like I said, to you, it might be one thing. To him, it might be another thing. Different people interpret it different. I'm not saying what it is or not. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I'm just telling you the reason some men would not do that, what you just said, come up to you and say, "Oh, hey, man, just to let you know I felt disrespected and all this," is because some men, they think you might interpret that like they're a punk. And then you might, I'm not saying you would do this, but they think maybe you would then go on the internet and be like, "Oh, Myron's such a punk. He came up to me, this way." So, look, I don't know, dude. I don't know Myron's background. Everybody grows up different. Like,
I think this boils down to Myron being extremely insecure and overly sensitive. I mean, like, the funny thing is, if he come up to me like a normal human being, there would have been no further videos. Like, I'm pretty respectful to people who are respectful to me in general. I think you've seen that with my channel. Like, if someone comes at me and they're respectful, unless their request is like super unreasonable, I'll generally speaking try to honor that. So yeah, I mean, like, sure, he could have thought that. That's like me saying, "Officer, the reason I fucking pulled this chick's dress down and grabbed her tits in public is because I thought she was DTF." But that's not like a valid excuse.
Come on, man. Come on.
I've
enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this whole discussion, and I'm a fan. But come on, man, you can't compare. I mean, he basically talked shit to you on the street because he thought you were talking shit. You're gonna compare that to grabbing a woman's tits? I mean, come on, man.
I'm not comparing in the sense like it's equal severity. I'm comparing in the sense that it's like the point I'm trying to make is that not understanding a situation at all is not a valid excuse. So I'm not saying what Myron did is the equivalent of that. No, that's not the point I'm making. I'm just saying
okay. No, I see.
That misinterpreting a situation completely is not a valid excuse at all. So it just comes down to the fact it's like a pattern you see of, and we're just focusing on Myron here, being overly sensitive, like getting butthurt about everything and getting super triggered really easily. Now, I'll grant you that the fact that lately he's been working on that, and I give him full props for that. And I legitimately thought they were turning a new leaf. But then you have this whole copyright shit. So, there's a saying that goes like,
to that point, to that point too. To that point, like I was saying before, this is all theory. I'm not speaking for Myron, but let's say he is trying to turn a new leaf and not get angry as much and stuff like that. Okay, cool. But you also don't want to go too extreme in the opposite direction where you allow Selena Powell and her friend to hardcore disrespect you for an hour and a half before you kick them out. They should have been kicked out in 10 or 15 minutes maximum. Now, granted, they should have never been on in the first place. I agree with you on that. But once they're on, they're already on. And if they're being respectful, then cool, let them stay on. But if they're being disrespectful how they were, they should be kicked off in like 10 minutes. That's just ridiculous. So, and I just want to say real quick to the original point, Myron, he talks some shit to you on the street in Miami. I'm just saying every guy's raised different. Guys handle stuff different because some guys, they do what you said. They come up and say, "Hey, man, I felt disrespected. Can we have a talk about this?" And that's probably the more mature way. That's probably the way they should go. But you know, other
Probably.
guys,
I
they
mean,
feel
that's
like,
definitely
hey,
the more
no,
mature way.
I mean,
It's also the
I
more
mean,
effective way. Like, this is communication
it is.
101.
I mean, it is case by case though, because okay, let me ask you: if some guy, let's say he talks shit about your wife, are you gonna come up to him like that, or are you gonna come up to him like, "Hey, motherfucker, why you talking shit about my wife?"
Well, the thing is that's a false equivalency.
Now,
Because I never
hold on. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to compare. I just realized I didn't mean to compare what you said to that. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying
how would
like,
if someone talks shit about my wife, how would I go up to them? I mean, I'm generally speaking, I'm not an aggressive person. So, I mean, I'm not afraid of confrontation, but I'm not like super aggressive. I'll probably go up to them like, hey man, like you said some shit about my wife. Like what's the deal with that? That's probably how I would handle that. Like what the fuck is the deal? We recently
Right.
had a guy who he was a virgin who started working with us, and I went out of my way to help him get laid because I felt bad for him. I gave him free coaching sessions. Now, mind you, I charged like $250 an hour. I just did it for free for him. Like, I just jumped on all these calls with him because I felt so bad for the guy. He was broke. He was a virgin. He told me he was like really depressed. He was my mastermind group, so I went out of my way to like help him. And then he left the mastermind, which is fine. You know, I have no problem with that. But then he was talking massive shit, saying I'm a scammer, I'm a bad person, blah blah blah. So I thought that like crossed the line because like I went out of my way to help him. So I saw him on the street actually about a month ago, and yeah, I came up to him and I was like, "Hey man, like what's the deal? Like what are you doing? Like why are you talking shit? We went out of our way to help you." You know, that was my general approach. So I mean, that's how I would handle that. But
hey, you
the
know
greater
what? You know, no, I
but
gotta
that's
say,
also a
yeah.
much more effective way. Like this is just like
Mhm.
this is like common sense 101. Like, dude, if I want something from you, I'm not going to be a massive asshole to you. I'm going to probably be nice and respectful. And I like if you don't realize that being a dick to people and yelling at them is a bad way to get something that you want, then I don't know, like what world you've been living in. Like that's complete lack of social awareness. I mean, like I knew that when I was like 14. I don't know. I mean, it's like the guys who like want to bang a chick and they go up to her and they're like, "Yo, bitch!" Like it's not gonna work. Like
Yeah,
same
that's
thing,
not an
it's not
effective
gonna work.
strategy.
Same way, it's not gonna work if you're like yelling at me while I'm talking to a girl. Like that's not like you just did the opposite of what you were trying to do. So I don't know, but the
Right.
point I'm trying to make is that this is a
I
pattern
understand.
of behavior where you have a guy who's very insecure, you know, who can't handle criticism, who, you know, like, do you see Myron doing these kinds of debates? They'll never happen, not in a million years. They'll never have on a random person to debate. They won't do that. The only people that debate is drunk 18-year-old girls, and then it's always them to prove a point. They'll never debate
Well, to be
me or
fair,
anyone else.
so okay, so to be fair, they do have a show where they let people call in. And when people call in and they are giving constructive criticism, or some are even straight up talking shit, like, hey, you're a bitch or whatever, most of the time, Myron and Fresh, they will engage them for at least a few minutes or 5 minutes, but then they got to keep it going because they got more people in line. But I will say, I mean, I can see your point about that, but I mean, can you see from their perspective? Like, I mean, dude, they do 2 live shows a day. Like they're super busy 24/7. So it's like, why are they gonna like waste time doing
Because
debates with haters?
Well, because that's what like look, if they announced that Fresh and Fit debates playing with fire, that would get like that would be like their top 20 episodes. Like everyone wants to see that. Their subscribers have said they want to see that. Like that would get a shitload of fucking views. I mean, the whole point is to get views and get attention. That will get a shitload of views. So you know, why would they do it? I don't know, because they'll fucking be really good for their channel. You know, that would be a good reason. But again, like if you're worried that you know you're gonna look like a fool, then yeah, of course you don't want to do it. You know, because they know Myron knows that debate will not go well for him. And that's not to say I'm like some kind of expert debater. It's just that I have a lot of facts on my side. That's all. I don't think I'm even particularly better than Myron. I think he's fairly articulate. But I have like all these facts on my side and he doesn't. So it wouldn't really go that well for him. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I think you can roll their fucking buddy roll is the same thing. He'll never debate me. This guy will never debate me. But that's just a small point I'm making. Like, look, if they don't want to debate me, then that's fine. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not even that fucking, you know, hung up about it. I'm making all kinds of other content. And I'll debate people who want to debate me. The point is that it's like a pattern of behavior being afraid of criticism. And that's what this whole bringing this back to the copyright strike thing. That's what it comes down to. It's silencing the criticism. It's controlling the narrative, right? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's like, okay, we have a lot of people who are criticizing us. How can we like get rid of that? Well, my approach would be to debate them. Like, so if someone is criticizing me, I'll be like, dude, come on for a debate and let's talk it out. That would be my personal approach. Or I might make a response video and point out why they're wrong. They have a different approach because they don't want to do that. So their approach is, let's just try to silence them with copyright strikes. And that's what I really took issue with, because I think that, cancel culture is fucked up. I've heard Myron bitch about it a bazillion times. Oh, cancel culture this, cancel culture that. Okay, but then you're going to go ahead and try to get other people canceled. So, that's kind of my
right. So this is a good question I have that I've been wanting to ask. So, you're one of many that makes a lot of these critique videos on Fresh and Fit.
Well, let's just kind of hang on. Let's clarify that. I don't make a lot.
Or you don't make as much as others do, obviously. But
well, in general, the Fresh and Fit critique videos are less than 1% of my content. So let's just be clear about that. It's like a small percentage of a small percentage. Like 99% of my videos have nothing to do with Fresh and Fit.
I definitely do agree with that. I think your channel overall offers a ton of value, and that's why you're one of my favorite guys in the Manosphere.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
But we can't deny that some other guys, and these are guys that I'm a fan of, but we can't deny some other guys, when you scroll through their channel, 90% of it is talking shit about Fresh and Fit. So my thing is, like, I guess this question wouldn't even apply to you. So I guess don't even answer it if you don't really have an answer. But I guess my question to all these other guys would be like, what's the end goal? Like, okay, 90% of your videos are talking shit about Fresh and Fit, but do you have an end goal? Like, what's the end goal? Like, what do you want to achieve from it? Like, what's the tangible effect you want from it? Like, that would be my thing. Or are they just going to make these videos till the day they die? Like,
yeah, I mean, I can't speak for all of them. I can speak for Kevin because he's a buddy of mine. I talk to him like more behind the scenes. So I can speak for him a little bit, but I can't speak for like all of them because I don't know a lead attorney or whatever. So Kevin's whole thing is that he wants to bring awareness to the fact that the Fresh and Fit are poisoning the red pill community. So he wants to bring awareness to that, and to give him credit, he has been at the forefront of a lot of the a lot of the things that Fresh and Fit have been called out on. Like even Abba and Preach has credited him in the past. They're like, hey, yeah, like we got this from Kevin. So he has been at the forefront of basically reporting all the controversy they've been involved in. And again, the simple solution is if they don't want that smoke, then stop doing shady shit. Like, like the whole, this whole recent thing, they brought that on themselves. Like, just don't they didn't copyright strike people. Yeah, there would still be a few channels making content on them, but most of the bigger ones would not have been. Abba and Preach would not have been. I would not have been. Like a lot of the, Spencer Cornelia would not have been. So it's like, dude, like if, you're walking down the street and I go up to you and I spit in your face, I'm asking for trouble, right? It's like,
no, if you spit in my face, I'm going to be like, hey man, I feel really disrespected. You just, no, I'm kidding. I'm playing around.
No, I get it. But like, that's like asking for trouble. Not that I would ever do that. But like, like you're asking for trouble by doing certain things. And like, so stop doing these fucking things. Like the solution to me seems easier. It's like the kid who like never learned that the stove burns when you keep touching it. It's like you touch it once, it burns, and then you stop touching it.
Right. So this opens up an interesting discussion because I want to say real quick about Kevin Ray Wilder. I'm actually a fan of Kevin Ray Wilder. I think he's a smart guy. I think he's got potential. Sure. But I genuinely disagree with him making 90% of his channel talking shit about Fresh and Fit. And I'll say the reason why. I've heard him say a million times about his goal is to clean up the Manosphere and all of this. But here's the thing. If he had 90% of his videos be like, hey, here's how to approach a girl. Here's how to text. Here's how to hit the gym better. Here's how to do this and that. And then if 10% was talking shit about Fresh and Fit or Rolo or Donovan Sharp or whoever, then I would believe him. But when 90% of his channel is talking shit, then it's like, dude, okay, you say you're here to clean up the Manosphere and all of this, but like, what are you actually adding to the Manosphere? Because it's easy to just criticize others, but what are you adding to it yourself besides criticizing videos? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I don't want to speak for Kevin because I don't want to like do him a disservice by like trying to like put words in his mouth. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. But I think also a lot of the people who are criticizing Fresh and Fit, like me, Spencer Cornelia, Abba and Pooch,
And the
like
thing, and the
most of our
thing
content is
too,
not about them.
yeah, and the thing too is this is not me shit talking Kevin. Like I said, I like Kevin, but if Kevin's listening to this would just be constructive criticism for him. I've heard him say, "Oh, well, we have a coaching program, we have a mastermind, we have a coaching program." Okay, cool. And I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He probably, let's say he helps a lot of people in his coaching program. But your YouTube channel is the funnel to your coaching program. So if I'm somebody new and I've just heard of Kevin Ray Wilder and I go on his YouTube channel, 90% of his videos is talking shit about Fresh and Fit. I'm now supposed to be incentivized to sign up for his coaching program? Like, how does this make any type of sense?
Yeah, I mean that has more to do with the his business model, which I think is a different point. I think it's a fair point. I would give him probably similar advice that he would be better off if he diversified his content a little bit more. But that's like his business model, I guess. I wouldn't say it's like particularly. I think he could probably improve it. But yeah, I think that's a different argument that we're getting into.
Yeah. So one thing I would say besides from that is it's interesting you say like if Fresh and Fit stopped doing all this shady stuff, but a constructive criticism towards you guys, I suppose, is most of his fans don't even care about this shit. Like, let me explain what I mean. So it seems like you guys care about the stuff way more than the fans do, and the fans are not as like dumb or naive as you guys think, because I'm telling you straight up, as a fan, and again, I don't penalize these guys. I know they're not perfect, etc. But as a fan, their podcast is overall a net positive for me. I do have some constructive criticisms, like I shared before. But as a fan who watches their podcast, I don't give a shit if, let's just say worst case scenario, I'm not saying this is true, but worst case scenario, let's say Fresh was a simp for Miranda. Why do I possibly give two shits? Okay, he made a mistake. He got finessed, whatever. He still got Lamborghinis. He still dresses well. He's still high status. He's still got other girls. So,
Well,
like,
I mean,
am I going to...
hang on. Let's back that up. We have to dissect that. So he does have Lamborghinis. He does dress somewhat well. What proof do we have that he has other girls? I don't see any infield on their part. I don't see any lay reports. So there's absolutely no proof that he has other girls.
Well, you can say that for anybody. Like,
but you
can
say
that for most guys.
But you can't say that for me because I have over 100 lay reports on my website. Like I have so much fucking proof. I have infield, so you can't really say that for me. You can say that maybe Alex gets less pussy than he claims, but you can't say that Alex doesn't get pussy because I have a shitload of proof.
No, I believe you're an honest guy. So whatever you say, I believe.
But it's not. You don't have to take my word for it. You can look at all the stuff. I have the screenshots.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying though.
I think
go
ahead.
Well, here's a good point about that though. It depends on what form of proof you're talking about. And the second thing, I'm not making this argument because I think this is a super dumb argument. But for guys who really want to get conspiratorial, they could say, oh, what if all those screenshots are fake? What if that field report's fake? What if the girl in his video is a hired actress? I'm not making that argument because that's just pure coping. That's like dumb as hell most of the time. But I'm saying it depends what form of proof are you talking about. And people can just say anything's fake. So how do you get around that? Because
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, again, sure, you could make the art. This is what black pillars do. They just say everything is fake, but you can't compare, for example, the amount of proof I have compared to the amount of proof Fresh and Fit has. I mean, I guess the only way I could do it better is if I have a video of me like fucking. Actually, that exists too. You can find a video of me fucking a chick. If you care to watch that. So it's like, I guess I could take it further if I was willing to break the law. But in terms of like legally, I pretty much provide as much proof as I can. That's the first thing.
Well, no, for example, because I'm not talking about you, but I'm saying Fresh actually has girls in his vlog videos, and somebody could argue, oh, well, that's just a girl who's doing it for the clout, etc. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but you're talking about proof. Again, I'm not attacking these guys, but just for the sake of argument, Kevin Ray Wilder and Coach Whitepill, for the longest time, they had literally zero proof because they said, oh, we don't want to be creepy. We don't want to like violate these women's trust, etc. I'll take them on their word. Maybe they're being honest. That they probably are being honest. But how can, if we're talking about proof, Fresh having girls in his videos is more proof than those guys had for a long time. It's more proof than most people have in the Manosphere. I understand you personally have a lot of proof. I understand that. But I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about most of the Manosphere. So it's like, if people are attacking Fresh and Fit for something, why are they not attacking, you know what I mean, a lot of these?
Because no one is attacking Fresh and Fit for that. I'm just responding to a point you made. I've never once criticized them for that. That's not the point. I realize there's a lot of other YouTubers who I associate with who don't provide proof. So that's not that's not a criticism I have. I want to go back to what you said earlier when you said that their fans don't care. That's not really true. Fresh and Fit are very good at censoring, controlling the narrative. So, for example, on their subreddit, like literally, they ban anyone who even questions them, to the point where a new subreddit has been created that's not run by Fresh and Fit, by all the people who've been kicked off the regular Fresh and Fit subreddit, who are like, hey, guys, like, what the fuck's going on? I got kicked off because I asked a question about something. So they control a narrative to that point. They do the same thing. Like, they shadow banned me from their thing, not because I was talking shit. I just left a comment like pointing out why cancel culture is fucked up. Like in their a lot of people have reported this, that like, yeah, man, I was kicked off of the chat. They kicked me off because I was bringing up porn, I was criticizing, blah blah. I don't kick anybody off unless you're fucking showing your dick or spamming. I'm not gonna kick you off. That's the only thing that's going to get off my stream. So it's like, they do very much control narrative. And a lot of their subscribers, like I've had a lot of people say, hey, man, I was a big Fresh and Fit fan, but now I've started watching some of your content. Like if you watch the first guy that came on, or maybe it was the second guy, I forget, first or second guy, he was like, yeah, man, I used to really follow Fresh and Fit, but now I realize they're full of shit, thanks to you and other guys' content. So there's a lot of fans who are turning, but Fresh and Fit is very good at trying to control a narrative and creating the facade that everything is going their way. But it's not. Like a lot of these guys, but they just don't have the option of like voicing that, because they get kicked off from the comments, they get kicked off from the chat, they get banned, like they get kicked out of the subreddit. So, I'm not.
So can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just play devil's advocate on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, I see both sides of that, because on the one hand, you could say these guys are doing censorship because they're insecure, they're afraid of criticism. But on the other hand, couldn't you say that they're just enforcing boundaries? Like, if you're going to disrespect us on our platform, then we're going to kick you out.
But it's not a matter of disrespect. It's a matter of asking questions. Like, hey,
okay, I see what you're saying.
So this one thing you guys did, has me confused, because you guys say this: banned, kicked off. Hey, what do you think about this one thing that this person said? Banned, kicked off. It's not enforcing boundaries. It's controlling narrative and being afraid of criticism. And I think like this is a consistent pattern of like these guys fucking hating criticism. And what do? Whenever anyone criticizes them, they label them a clout chaser or a hater. That's their only defense. Oh, this guy's a clout chaser. Oh, this guy's trying to make money off us. It's the only defense they have. So
okay, I see. I do think the Miranda thing is interesting, specifically because I'm curious your opinion on it, on what I'm about to say. Is like I said, even at worst case scenario, let's say Fresh was a simp for Miranda, he got finessed, he got played. Okay, but even the biggest player in the world can get played by a female. It can happen to anybody. Like, you can get finessed, or you can get in your feelings, whatever. Like, it can happen to anybody. So am I supposed to like be like, oh, he made a mistake and got finessed by a girl, so I'm never going to listen to his podcast again.
Yeah, so let me comment on that. So the problem, pretty much 95% of the criticism wasn't because he made a mistake. It was because he lied. He got caught lying. So it was a number of lies. Oh, I didn't pay this girl a single dollar. And you find out that he pays her electric bill. Oh, this chick is different. She's not like those Miami girls, which implies gold diggers. And you find out that he met her on Seeking Arrangement. Academics was calling him out live on air. Oh, he's like, oh, no, academics, you got your facts wrong. This chick is not like one of those Miami girls. And just like you find like all this evidence comes forward. So it had nothing to do with him making a mistake. Dude, if the guy was like, yo, I fucked up, I made a mistake, whatever, everyone makes mistakes. It's a little bit of a rookie mistake, but whatever, it is what it is. But it's the fact that he got caught lying about it repeatedly. Like that made it 1,000 times worse. And after the whole thing, what did he say? Oh, the whole thing was a marketing stunt. Get the fuck out of here. That's like their fucking excuse with everything. So, yeah, it's not the mistake, it's the lying.
Right. So, okay, let's say you made the mistake and then he lied. My thing is, if their content is overall positive and it's overall helping guys, then I would say they're overall good, even if they are making these mistakes or whatever, because this might be controversial what I'm about to say, but there are white lies. Like, for example, if let's say Fresh got played, he's embarrassed by it and he doesn't want to admit he got played, so he makes up a lie and he keeps it moving, giving people good content, helping people upgrade their life. Like to me, that just seems harmless, because it's like, okay, the guy got played, he's embarrassed, so he just made something up. But it's not like a malicious lie. It's not like he's starting a. It's just like whatever. Like he's just doing it to like not be embarrassed. But it's not like hurting guys. Like guys are still, like their podcast is still putting out good content. And I'm not even accusing him of lying or anything. I'm just saying like hypothetically, if he did that, then.
Well, I don't think it's a hypothetical. I mean, it's pretty clear on record. Like, I think you can see the video proof. Maybe I should have dug it up, but he says literally, "Oh, I never gave this chick $1," and then there's proof comes out that he paid for her electric bill. Oh, this chick is so different.
Dude, I know what happened with those, man. I'm surprised nobody brought this up before. So probably what happened was he said he never gave her $1, right?
Uh-huh.
Because he probably gave her $100 bills, and not.
Come on, like, boy, because he gave her $100. Like what? That's a cop out, bro.
No, dude, and you know how he said that he met her on the yacht.
Yeah.
No, dude. Okay, you know how he said he met her on the yacht, and then later he said he met her on Seeking Arrangement.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody says that's a lie, right? But here's the thing. He probably met her on Seeking Arrangement while he was chilling on a yacht.
You're just trolling right now.
No. So you can see how he met her. You can see how both are true, because he met her on the Seeking Arrangement while he was on a yacht. So you could see the confusion there, right?
I mean, you're just trolling me right now.
Yeah, man, I'm just trolling.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, there's no fucking way. But anyway, to kind of bring it back, because I do got to take off like very soon. Yeah, it's just like, again, it's the pattern. It's the pattern of lying. It's the pattern of getting caught. And I never used to say don't go and not watch their show. I never said that in the past. I said, hey, watch whoever you want. Nothing wrong with that. If you find value in it, that's great. But I have kind of retracted my stance on that because of the recent thing of them doing these false copyright strikes, because they're taking the money that you guys give them and they're using it on hiring lawyers to false copyright strikes and get content creators canceled. And that's fucked up. And I think we can all agree that's fucked up. And, like if that's what, like at that point, I don't feel comfortable telling people to go and support them or watch their channel, because that's where their money's going, to silence people. Fuck that shit. So that's kind of my take on that. Do you have any closing thoughts?
I think the most productive question I can ask is, what do you think Fresh and Fit should do now? Like, pretend that you are Fresh and Fit and you can't change the past. What would you do going forward?
If I was Fresh and
Because
Fit,
I just want to say, I think that question is more productive than like 50 YouTubers talking shit about them every day. So
well, I don't think it's a matter of talking shit. I think it's a matter of bringing attention to. I do agree some YouTubers talk shit, but I think it's a matter of bringing attention to fucked up shit that they do. Because they're not going to talk about themselves, so someone else has to do it. What would I do if I was them? Is take all the money that I'm spending on publicists, on lawyers, and get a publicist. I would get a good publicist because they keep fucking up their image. Stop doing dumb fucking shit like this. Stop pissing people off. Maybe get a little bit better at handling criticism and focus on the grind. And if you're confident about your beliefs, don't be afraid of criticism. Like actually, like who gives a shit? Let people if my style when people criticize me is I have them on, I talk to them about it. And most of the time, after 5 minutes, they're like, "Yeah, you make some good points, Alex. Maybe I came in too hard." So do shit like that. Don't fucking try to silence people because what you do when you try to silence someone.
Go ahead. That brings a good question. I know you got to go soon, but can I get maybe one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? You'll never know until you're actually in the situation. But hypothetically speaking, what do you think you would do if you were dealing with what they're dealing with? So let's say you do your channel the way you do it for whatever reason. There's 1,000 YouTubers that don't like it and they're very loud about it. And they're making videos about you every single day about how everything you do is wrong. What would you do? Would you debate all of them? Would you change what you do to please them? Would you not? Would you not change anything?
Pleasing. There's we can't pretend like it's just random happening. The vast majority of the YouTubers who are criticizing them is for lies and hypocrisy they were caught in. So I would never be in this situation because I don't lie and I'm not a hypocrite. So there might be a few people criticizing me, but there's not going to be a whole YouTube community of people criticizing me simply because I don't lie and I'm not a hypocrite, right? So you can avoid this problem almost entirely by not doing that. And the few that are left at that point, yeah. But again, just the solution here isn't it's you can talk about prevention or, catching up afterwards. I'm all about prevention, prevent the problem by not lying. This whole, what happens usually is people criticize and then the incident blows over, with the fresh sugar baby thing. And a lot of YouTube channels stop making content on them because the topic has become stale. A lot of these YouTubers have moved on. And then they just create a latest incident for them by trying to silence other people. It's dude, if you don't create these incidents, then the shit slowly goes away after a while. But if you keep fucking creating new incidents by doing dumb shit, getting caught in lies or doing fucked up shit, then this will be a vicious cycle. So that would be my solution, is just stop doing dumb shit like that. And then you can mitigate 95% of the criticism, honestly.
Okay, I see. Hey, thanks a lot for the time, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. It was a good discussion, man. Thanks for coming on. All right, take care, man.
All right, you too.
All right, so you can see my voice is dying a little bit. I do got to run quite soon. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This went much longer than I thought it was going to go. We had some X-rated photos, but it is what it is. Thank you, Guy. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're going to have another live stream, I believe, on Monday with some girls, some non-trashy girls. We're not going to have to kick anyone off. We're going to actually be able to have a reasonable discussion like normal human beings. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Show your support for this channel. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. I appreciate it as always. Until next time.